Chapter 401 Exchange and Cooperation. So what's the price? 2 more. Sure enough, as I guessed, the higher-ups are secretly preparing. Chen Mo immediately felt that this exchange was really a bargain. The information brought by Ao Dai is very important. The only thing that worries him is that the higher-ups are so secretive, because they feel that there is no need to make a big show, or do they have their own plans? Ready to secretly build a dimensional spaceship and run away. Runaways. Or, as I speculated before, clear information cannot be announced. As long as this information spreads, the Dimension Devourer will search for this information and speed up the positioning of the world coordinates of the Star Soul. Si Chen Mo does not speak. Ao Dai thought she didn't believe it. She immediately said, "You carefully check the price of high-energy minerals. It has been going up all the way. I have investigated it, and the intensity of the current war is increasing rapidly, but many of them are unnecessary, such as the battle you are fighting now." Quote, "Originally we lived in peace. There is no conflict between the Patila civilization and us. The area where the campaign is currently launched is more than 200% more than 2 years ago, and the speed at which the Federation distributes resources has increased by more than 103,000%. There is more information. I can't disclose it to you, but I believe that everyone is for the Star Soul world. Without the Star Soul world, we are just wanderers in this cold universe, just like those natives who lost their home planet, precarious. The next disaster will definitely affect the Star Soul world. In short, there must be a day when all of us are fully united. This is determined by the operating rules of the Star Soul world, and it is also an inevitable trend. Unity is strength. Unless, speaking of this, Ao Dai herself felt a little dangerous. So I just gave Chen Mo a look that you understand. It is more than words. At this moment, Chen Mo felt a tacit understanding, and the two thought of being together. I don't think so, Chen Mo said, although he also thought so, but according to the situation he has observed so far, the situation where the member builds a ship and runs away is the worst choice. Because he still has a channel that Ao Dai does not have, and that is the goddess of luck, Femiris. This is someone who has experienced it. From him, Chen Mo learned about the strength of part of the Dimension Devourer. It is nonsense to say that there is no hope of resistance. As long as there is hope, relying on the arrogance and strength of the congressman, it is impossible to run away casually. Of course, the boat also needs to be repaired. For example, Chen Mo himself is also working on it, and has also cooperated with Lady Luck for this. Prepare with both hands and leave yourself a way out, you can't go wrong. But thinking of this, he was a little uncertain. After all, there are so many members of parliament, and there must be many people who look like him and think about preparing for the way out. When there are too many people, their hearts will be inconsistent. Some people may be the main fighters, and some are fugitives. If it weren't for the special social relationship structure of Star Soul World, Chen Mo would even doubt whether there would be a surrender faction. But thinking of this, he suddenly became worried. The Star Soul World is considered to be the most difficult fortress to break through from the inside, and it can be divided into 2 factions. What about the other level 4 civilizations? I'm afraid we have to add another faction, the surrender faction. If that's the case, things suddenly become serious. While Star Soul World has to guard against other civilizations, it has to secretly find a way out for itself, spend a lot of resources to build spaceships, and at the same time prepare weapons to fight against the Dimension Devourer. I feel like I can't concentrate on one point. As for Chen Mo, he must be a die-hard main fighter. Because building a spaceship is not expensive for him, he already has the most critical engine, and the rest of the technology can also be handled with the help of Lady Luck. And there is a countdown on his attribute panel. In short, he suspected that the relationship between himself and the Devourer of Dimensions might be a life and death ending. Even if there is no countdown, he will not be willing to run away, develop so fast, create so many industries through hard work, give up if he says he will give up. Impossible. Since you think so, Chen Mo, it seems that you still have great confidence in the world of Star Soul, then I hope that in the future, we can cooperate more and overcome difficulties together. The goddess of starlight couldn't help but speak. She is planning ahead for the future. Chen Mo couldn't help but nodded. He wanted to expand his influence, and it would be great to have such a strong man second only to the MP to stand on his platform. It is tens of thousands of times stronger than Lu Ru's original effect. Before Chen Mo could open his mouth to agree, Ao Dai said again, I am very optimistic about your future, but the fate of the whole world cannot be changed by just 1 or 2 people, even if you become very strong. But working together and helping each other is ultimately better than being alone. Quote, I know you are expanding your influence, and I can provide some help. I have expanded to the limit, and it is very difficult to gain the attention of the laws of the world again. So in fact there is no serious conflict of interest between us. Even if we really want to compete for the seat of the parliament, my opponent is not you but them. From this point of view, instead, we should work together to jointly expand our influence. Of course, this is not something you need to consider in the short term. Quote. When Ao Dai said this, she couldn't help but smile. Hearing this, Chen Mo nodded. It seems that the goddess of starlight has not given up on competing for the seat of parliamentarians. Think about it too. As long as there is hope, who doesn't want to go to the top, then they have the opportunity to set rules according to their own ideas. It's just that the other party doesn't know that Chen Mo has long been preparing for expanding his influence. However, there is indeed no conflict of interest between the two parties at present, and there are obviously many benefits to cooperation. Of course, if Chen Mo suddenly becomes very strong, and is about to become a member of parliament, then Ao Dai may not be so easy to talk about. If we cooperate, to be honest, I will get a lot of benefits from you. The fame alone is a huge leap, but, with all due respect, what can you get from me? Chen Mo pondered for a while before speaking. Everything has a price. He wants to weigh whether he can afford this price. Chapter 402 Goddess. It's a rich woman. Another Nisur core. One more. Very real reaction. Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, smiled slightly. After pondering for a while, she continued. I need a lot of labor, especially the efficient and obedient ones, and the knowledge they possess must be optional. Preferably an engineer. If you can share your knowledge about using energy to upgrade planets, or the knowledge of biological spaceship manufacturing, I can also buy it. Or, knowledge of the use of infinite energy. The energy conversion device is the main purpose of her coming to Chen Wenli. This kind of knowledge is almost universal. No matter what kind of civilization, matter and energy, it must be very dependent on one. In the early days, it was usually matter. The more it develops, the more it pays attention to the use of energy, and the demand also increases exponentially. High-energy minerals are far from meeting her needs. But Chen Mo has this kind of knowledge. No matter how bad it is, the other party also has the artifact that she wants very much. Nesser core. In fact, she has already looked for several star gods. Chen Mo is the last stop here. She believes that Chen Mo is able to use the technology of the Temple of Heaven so skillfully. He must be highly skilled in analyzing creations, and maybe he can sell her some knowledge in this area. She is rich and well accumulated, and she can afford an offer that the other party cannot refuse. Doesn't Chen Mo want more planets? She is plenty. Not to mention money. Even if it is the expansion of influence that the other party desires most, she can help a lot. Even, it is not impossible to give the opponent a platform and support them. It turned out to be knowledge about tool people, energy utilization, and biological spaceships. Chen Mo suddenly understood. The combination of these three things is not the most powerful part of his performance, but the infinite energy plus the spaceship. This immediately made Chen Mo think of the dimensional spaceship on a conditioned reflex. This is the most basic feature of a dimensional spaceship. The characteristic of the biological spaceship is that it can continuously and automatically recover with the support of energy, which can greatly increase the fault tolerance rate. Ao Dai didn't know that Chen Mo had developed to the point where the cells could generate energy shields in terms of biological spaceships, and its performance far surpassed that of ordinary mechanical spaceships. If the other party knows, I'm afraid they will be more interested. Well, you fugitives, it turns out that you are also secretly building ships. Chen Mo couldn't help muttering in his heart. Isn't it just to run away when building a dimensional spaceship? Chen Mo has reason to believe that Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, should have acquired part of the knowledge about space and dimension travel. Especially at the moment, when she predicts the horror disaster that is about to come. But thinking about it, a force like the goddess of starlight has come into contact with too many alien forces, including void monsters, so it is normal for her to know some knowledge in this area. However, it is basically impossible to get the knowledge of infinite energy from Chen Mo. Chen Mo shook his head and said, others are easy to talk about, but the knowledge about infinite energy. To be honest, I haven't analyzed it yet, I'm just using it superficially. This is the truth. The core of Nasur is so easy to manufacture. Chen Mo has already made tens of thousands, so how can there be room for the Patila civilization to jump around? Already flattened the opponent. You know, this thing represents the limit of a road, infinite energy, which is so easy to achieve. If it is thoroughly researched, it will be the cornerstone of a fourth-level civilization. Hearing Chen Mo refuse directly, the goddess of starlight was not disappointed, and even kept a faint smile at the corner of her mouth. She said politely, "If not, you can sell me the core knowledge of Nisr that you have analyzed, and I will accept it regardless of whether I have it or not. Elementary knowledge is 100 million won. Intermediate knowledge 10 billion. Advanced knowledge, my agricultural planet, you pick one yourself. If we do joint research, how about I give you the platform and attract more star gods for you?" Chen Mo fell silent for a moment. Today he has seen what it means to be inhumane. This handwriting is really huge. It has to be said that Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, gave too much, especially the infinite cooperation, which made him greedy. If he had this condition, his influence in the world of Star Soul would expand rapidly. So, after thinking for a while, Chen Mo made a decision to cooperate with the other party. But he really doesn't have much knowledge on hand. Fortunately, there is no way, Goddess of Luck has it, and the two parties are in a cooperative relationship, so it is not difficult to obtain some knowledge. Then there is joint research, which can also be launched. Because there is another Nisr core, with the help of the Starlight Goddess, it can be easily obtained. It seems that the Goddess of Starlight has also gained benefits, but the other party does not know that Chen Mo's huge benefits from reselling knowledge, as well as his expansion of influence, are not just about influence. He has more structured plans. As for the cooperation with the Goddess of Starlight, there is no need to explain to the Goddess of Luck. After all, the other party is not from the Star Soul world, and it is impossible to expect her to trust Ao Dai. She wanted to extract benefits from Ao Dai, but she didn't even think about it. This money can only be earned by him personally. As for whether this will allow the Goddess of Starlight to break through key technologies and become a member of parliament, or even surpass her in strength, Chen Mo doesn't care. There are many people who are better than him, and this one is not bad. And the actual situation is the opposite. The cooperation between the two must have made Chen Mo's strength grow by leaps and bounds, much faster. In a short time, Chen Mo is sure to catch up with Ao Dai. But in any case, this is an acceptable result for both parties. It is nothing more than a question of earning more and earning less. I can sell you all the knowledge about Nisr's core. At the same time, we set up a joint research team to study Nisr's core together. Chen Mo agreed to the matter. However, my Nisr core is currently engaged in a war, and the cooperation time may be delayed. In terms of knowledge, I will sort it out and send it to you. We will finalize the deal when I know the location of the other Nisr core. Quote. Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, couldn't help smiling. She knew that Chen Mo couldn't refuse her condition, so she prepared the agreement and deposit in advance. Qian Zhao's. Now, just take it out. This is a cooperation agreement. You can see which clauses need to be revised. Let's discuss it. If not, this is a deposit, an intermediate life planet. Chen Mo immediately opened his watch and passed the transaction on the trading platform. After the 10% transaction tax was exempted, he obtained a living planet worth 100 billion. There is also a race attached to it. For Chen Mo, this value has increased again. Chen Mo secretly sighed. This is the real veteran Star Soul expert. What a rich woman, the deposit alone is enough to make many people jealous. Chen Mo's plan is to find Nisr's core and study together. He will slow down the progress. At that time, he will sell advanced knowledge one by one slowly, and wait for his own strength to catch up quickly. But Starlight Goddess is not stupid. Similar tricks are blocked in terms of cooperation. There are various indicators to measure the progress of research. Chen Mo wants to polish the water, it is very difficult. Chapter 403 Grateful Lu Ru. The Sudden Decisive Battle. 2 more. Although my speed of analyzing knowledge is very fast, not every piece of knowledge is like this. I can only guarantee that under the conditions of our vigorous cooperation in the future, at least one intermediate knowledge will be analyzed every day. Within a month, the analysis will be completed. More than 80% of the knowledge. Of course, Chen Mo couldn't follow what Ao Dai said. Let's all take a step back. It's a good time for a month. Hearing Chen Mo's suggestion to revise the cooperation agreement, Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, couldn't help frowning slightly, but after thinking about it carefully, she still nodded in agreement. Because she is very clear about what kind of existence a creation of a fourth-level civilization, especially a supreme artifact, can actually figure out within a month, she is already very satisfied. After pondering for a while, she said, "Then when is our latest transaction scheduled?" 2 days later, Chen Mo said, "In fact, He can conduct some transactions now, but it must not make it too easy for Ao Dai. But Chen Mo's timing is still careless. Efficient. Ao Dai was a little surprised, and felt that Chen Mo acted very quickly and decisively. If it was an ordinary person, he would definitely chat with her, for fear of being at a disadvantage. Sure enough, as expected of a man whom I admired. Ao Dai thought to herself. 023, then I wish us a happy cooperation. I will try my best to help you with your affairs in the future. How about starting with the Star Soul Master who has been promoted in the past 10 years? No problem, we will keep in touch with you on the specific details. It's time to get rid of Lu Ru, and help me with Luo Bing when the time comes, and be responsible for these things. Chen Mo smiled in satisfaction. As he spoke, Chen Mo looked at Lu Ru. Of course there is no problem, and I think it's time to rediscuss the conditions of our cooperation, and we must go further. Lu Ru said with a smile. But in her heart, she became nervous. I'm afraid Chen Mo won't agree. Because obviously, the other party has found Ao Dai who is much stronger than her to cooperate, and if they find her again, there is no need to pay an additional agreement. Chen Mo could take advantage of the situation to coerce her, but she still couldn't refuse. But fortunately, these tensions are superfluous. Without the slightest hesitation, Chen Mo asked Ash to draw up a brand new agreement, with the Star Soul World Law as a guarantee, and the Federation being serious, the content was simply fantastic for her. At least, in her opinion, she has taken advantage of it. She has always had the opportunity to join the camp led by Ao Dai, but she has never agreed, because all the positions in it are full, and she went, that is, she is excellent. But Chen Mo here is really able to manage things. She is very interested in the Energy Network channel, Knowledge Purchase Permission and Transmission Network channel given by Chen Mo. In fact, Lu Ru was overthinking it. At most, Chen Mo would only give more discounts. He would definitely not start reducing the benefits promised by recruiting people just because his strength soared. One spittle and one hole, he made deals with others, and when he came back, he kept his word. Looking at the new agreement, Lu Ru showed a bright smile. From now on, she is officially Chen Mo's person. Chen Mo's subordinates. Even, there is a step further than this relationship. After all, now, she is completely tied to the chariot. But she feels that the future is bright. This chariot is big, minister. Using these resources of Chen Mo, especially the energy network, she felt that she might be able to go one step further, and no matter how bad it was, she could also cultivate a level 9 elite army. Think about it, an army composed entirely of level 9 powerhouses, even if there are only a few 100,000, this is an extremely terrifying strength. At the Star Soul stage, it should be invincible, right? Naturally, she was looking at Chen Mo with gratitude in her eyes. To be honest, for the contribution she has made so far, Chen Mo can easily replace any veteran Star Soul powerhouse. So she is not irreplaceable. Chen Mo gave her these, she is very grateful in her heart. In particular, Chen Mo also clarified, Dave, the time for her to build an ascending army, not to draw big cakes, but to really have cakes to feed her. While Chen Mo and Lu Ru continued to chat, there was news from the distant evolution. After some preparations, the Patila civilization started a new 10-round attack. This time, they were fully prepared, and all the legions were pulled out. The entire outpost is mobilized. The scale is 10 times that of last time. Even the wounded came. Chen Mo is very clear that this is because the Patela civilization has already known his infectiousness. All those who have been on the battlefield will no longer be sent to the regional theater. The decisive battle in this area happened suddenly in this way. Everyone was caught off guard. Especially the other star gods. Chen Mo naturally wants to make their money. Therefore, with a thought, he made the evolution shrink the radiation area and the area where the gravitational core shields the teleportation. For a time, the Patila civilization exerted its greatest combat power. The many star gods who rushed to the front died, and the loss was not small. Of course, Chen Mo didn't want to kill the rest of the star gods, he quickly recovered the radiation-infected area of the evolution. Nesser's core power is fully activated. But just this one time made all the star gods worry. If Chen Mo suddenly shrinks the suppression range of the battleship during the next battle and stops taking the lead in the charge, then what the hell are they going to do? Taking a step back, Chen Mo continues to charge, but as long as the speed is not suitable, and when adopting various tactics, if they are not notified, without cooperation, they will also lose the elite battle eye. After some calculations, all the stars Shendu jumped in anger. The conclusion is very simple. Either give Chen Mo the 50% profit, or fight each other, and Chen Mo will no longer rush forward at a constant speed. At this time, Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, hadn't left yet. Sitting beside her, she naturally had her own news channel. She frowned, smiled and said, "Has the battle started? This time Patila civilization is very powerful, do you need my help?" In the rest of the theater, she fought too many times with the Patila civilization. Just by glancing at the situation on the battlefield, one knew that the outpost of Patila was an attack by the whole army, and they would never retreat if they failed to achieve their goals. More importantly, there are not many gods among them. According to her estimation, there will be another wave of gods in the future. The most deadly danger is the legion of gods that hides in the distance and may tear through the space at any time. She doesn't mind telling Chen Mo this information. At the same time, he took advantage of this opportunity to boost Chen Mo's popularity. Chapter 404 Evil God. Call the court. One more. At this time, the cooperation has just started. It's time to show sincerity. In the eyes of Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, it's just a random thing. However, Chen Mo shook his head and said, "It doesn't matter, this wave of Patala civilization's attack is expected, my evolution number keeps advancing, and sooner or later it will be pushed to the entrance of the broken world, there is no other way. The problem now is not the Patila civilization, I'm worried that the rest of the star gods will cling to the interests that don't belong to them." Hearing this, Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, couldn't help being taken aback. It is worthy of being a legendary profiteer. He hesitated for a long time in his relationship, not because of the Patila civilization, but because of the star god. Such a fierce battle with such a high degree of attention will not delay the opponent's determination to make money. If it were any star god, they would definitely not be able to do this. So calm. Note that it is completely different from ordinary people. After all, the star god is just getting more money, but the Padilla civilization, that's life-threatening. The Divine Spirit Legion is already one of the strongest combat forces. Now in this war zone, there is no star god who can stand alone against the Legion of Gods. I am afraid that only Chen Mo has such strength and confidence. Replace it with someone else, and after learning this information, he must beg her. But on the other hand, this also proves that Chen Mo is indeed worthy of cooperation. If she needs to help with anything, is it finding an ally, or is it a drag? At the same time, Chen Mo's courage to attack both internally and externally also made the corners of her lips slightly curled up. It really is the right choice to cooperate with Chen Mo. Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, said, "As far as I know, the Legion of Gods in the Patila civilization is quite powerful, especially their ability to forcibly break through the space blockade. You must be more cautious." She doesn't want Chen Mo to suffer a defeat when she is about to announce the cooperation with Chen Mo. Especially in this defeat, it was done by threatening many star gods to make money. This is likely to be reasonably associated by people. If he wins, then of course Chen Mo is awesome, and he has a lot of tricks to make money. If he loses, he will become greedy, and the rest of the star gods will also throw the responsibility on his head. Besides, Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, also cooperates with Chen Mo, so don't affect their follow-up research. Of course, it is not impossible for her to cross Chen Mo and find the remnant goddess of the original Tianshan temple. But re-establishing trust and gaining complete knowledge will become extremely difficult. And there is a high probability of being hostile and getting nothing. So currently, her most important collaborator is Chen Mo. My own people are powerful and strong. There is no problem with trust or anything. Chen Mo's eyes lit up when he heard that the spirit army was coming to attack. As expected of a powerful star god, he is so familiar with the Patila civilization, even their possible successors. Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, couldn't help but smiled slightly, and said, "Star Soul World basically discloses information about the enemy, as long as the authorization is granted, it can be collected. Fighting civilization, I know what to do as soon as they poke their A. In comparison, your actions, Chen Mo, are even more unpredictable." Speaking of this, the goddess of starlight couldn't help but rolled her eyes at Chen Mo. "Speaking of which, I also bought a lot of energy blocks produced by you here, it's really a big injustice, now I ask for a discount, is there still time?" Quote. "Of course, but I believe that if our cooperation goes well this time, you don't need energy blocks anymore." Chen Mo couldn't help smiling. At present, the interests in this area account for very little of Chen Mo's income. Not to mention anything else, Chen Mo can get the benefits of Starfish just by defeating the Patila civilization in this wave. I heard that the Patila civilization got a lot of good things in the broken world. This time they responded so resolutely, maybe this information is true. By the way, we must also prevent some of them from coming out of the broken world to support the battle. This part of the combat power is beyond our expectation. Chen Mo said with a smile. I'm looking forward to it. Looking at the confident Chen Mo, Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, couldn't help being envious. She scanned the surrounding gods. These, presumably, were Chen Mo's reliance. But it is true. In such a short period of time, there are so many gods and elites loyal to him. It is normal to have this confidence. What's more, from Ao Dai's point of view, besides the gods, Chen Mo also has a lot of other means. Although he has only 2 main battleships, each one is more incredible than the other. Less, but it is too big. The strength is unbelievably strong. She wanted to obtain this technology, which was also influenced by Chen Mo. After her observation, she thinks that this technology still has room for development. In the future, it will be comparable to psychic spaceships, and it will not be a problem at all. It can be seen that the races cultivated by Chen Mo have a very reasonable combination and are very versatile, among which biology and ancient technology are very developed. If the Patala civilization uses these current means, I am afraid it will take advantage of it. 0. The outcome of this battle was already doomed in her opinion. Since you are so confident, then I will go back first and look forward to your good news. If the Patila civilization gets any good knowledge, don't forget to find me. Then see you in 2 days. Chen Mo nodded. A powerful star god is on his home planet. Although he is not a threat, he is not one of his own. Now he is mobilizing to fight, and he really feels a little uncomfortable. After Ao Dai left, Chen Mo immediately felt a lot more relaxed. Lu Ru was also very sensible and left first. Ao Dai, who passed through the portal and returned to the world of Star Soul, suddenly showed a thoughtful expression on her face. Just now, she lost her sense of the planet she gifted. Of course it was because of her gift, but it was a bit too fast. It can be seen from this that the speed at which Chen Mo occupies the infected planet is really terrifying. Of course, in order to avoid Chen Mo's suspicion, she didn't do anything. But this incident shocked her very much. At the same time, the unknown crisis also made her a little worried. Chen Mo has something to hide from her. No, maybe no less than her. And even more, the second Nyceria core. How can there be 2 of these things? You must know that this is the supreme artifact. Could it be that this device was originally integrated? Ao Dai recruited the scholars under her command. This scholar is rich in knowledge, specializing in the study of various gods, and even studied in the big library for a long time, no worse than a professional big library scholar. There is only one explanation: the legacy of the remaining civilizations, some creations drifting from the void. Could it be that Chen Mo is not from our planet at all? He is an evil god who has been resurrected from the dead, or why are there so many of them, which do not belong to the powerful knowledge of our civilization at all? And also inherited a lot of strange ancient technology. While speaking, the scholar couldn't help but widen his eyes. This kind of thing is definitely a chord. For scholars of the big library, conditioned reflexes will cause fear. We should tell the Inquisition immediately. Review Chen Mo. Ao Dai couldn't help but rolled her eyes. How is it possible? The other party's main planet is permanently connected with the Star Soul world. Don't worry about this completely with the Star Soul world consciousness. It's impossible. Obviously that goddess of luck is the resurrected god. Chapter 405 Legion of Gods. Crush. Vibes infected. 2 more. However, Chen Mo must have secrets from me, and I also have some secrets from him. Everyone has their own secrets. Asking about it is just for fun. Ao Dai analyzed it carefully. However, why the other party trusts Chen Mo so much, it's really strange to see her methods are extremely clever. Thinking of this, she couldn't help frowning slightly. In short, don't investigate this matter. I will pay attention to it myself. Don't ask the big library. Ao Dai ordered. Okay. The scholar nodded, and could only suppress the excitement in his heart. A revived god, this is the best research material, what a pity. Unsurprisingly, Chen Mo will rely on his own gods, combined with the method of increasing Niser's core strength, to defeat Patila's army. In the end, Ao Dai ended the conversation, and at the same time sent 450 her capable men to arrive near the battle zone openly before the battle started. She wanted to carefully observe Chen Mo's performance this time. At the same time, she felt that this was also an excellent opportunity to see Niser's core strength. Under the pressure of the Patala civilization, Chenmo must rely on the strength of Nisar's core. It's a pity that Chenmo didn't give her a close study, otherwise, she might be able to gain more useful information. Holy Terra. After the star goddess Ao Dai and Lu Ru both left, Chenmo picked up the watch. In fact, the war zone has already been arranged. The most important thing now is to collect all the money from the many star gods who cooperated with him before the Patila civilization has fully attacked. My current deposit is about 200 billion. The money is used to build a large number of portals and expand to the main planets of the other star soul lords. About 400 can be built. Well, if there are enough orders, there should be a discount. However, 400 is definitely not enough, at least 1,000 or so. Chenmo carefully analyzed that the key is to immediately convert the money in hand into evolution medicine or influence. In this way, not only the energy network channel, but also my transmission network channel can be initially formed. Chenmo couldn't help but look forward to it. He currently has 500 newcomers who have signed the agreement, and about 1,000 star soul masters. Then there is the construction of dimensional ships. This requires a significant investment of resources. Without hesitation, Chenmo said directly on the War Zone channel. According to the statistics on the trading platform, one person will give me 50% of the income. Otherwise, I will no longer share combat information, and the evolution will no longer serve as a human shield for you, and provide space suppression and radiation infection. For a moment, all the stars Shendu sighed. But everyone has long been united together, and for this moment, they are also mentally prepared. Now that Chenmo has said so, then give the money. Soon, Chenmo received a lot of money, and every time he received one, he would open the information to that person and mark him as a teammate at the same time. For ordinary star gods, it takes time to do this. But it was easy for Chenmo. The powerful computing power, the biological mastermind inside the sacred planet Terra, is not a decoration. Small sums of money flew like snowflakes and gathered into big money like a river. Just from this remittance, Chenmo earned more than 50 billion funds. Another cost of 100 portals. Of course, it is impossible for the portal to be so cheap. Chenmo built it at the beginning, but it was much more expensive than this. Although it has been improved, it is a portal for the energy of the prostitution star soul world, but the cost is still at least 1 billion. The extra money will be provided by the signers of the sacred system. This is why Chenmo only prepares 1,000 pieces. The first is the testing phase. The second reason is that after all, the other party's money is used. Some newcomers are very poor, and they can't scrape the land until the middle of the 90s. Let them develop 10 waves first. Good guy, Chenmo will charge 50% directly. It's okay, I think, the other party has something to do and dare to go up. Big boss Chenmo is awesome. He made a lot of money this time around. I've been annoyed to see those star gods who make cheap money. In the next battle, I just hope to earn more points. All stars Shendu is eager to try. Although half of the money was given to Chenmo, you must know that the money is small. Achievements are the last word. The next battle is a decisive battle, which directly determines the success or failure of this theater. This time, although the battle started in a hurry, both sides were very passive, and Chenmo made a wave of chaos. Everyone was a little bit flustered. But according to the current situation, the head-on is not low. As long as it is higher than 50%, the star gods dare to give it a go. After collecting the money happily, Chenmo looked at the evolution. At this time, the evolution has been fully activated, and his army of gods is also ready. This will be a million-level legion of gods. Of course, it has not been connected to the energy network channel yet, so it cannot be seen. This is naturally to let the Patila Legion send them up, so that they can be caught off guard. After all, the speed of the opponent tearing through the space is too fast, and Chenmo, the pseudo-god army, can't leave the evolution too far to fight. Therefore, as long as this method is used, the Patala civilization is forced to take the initiative. But having said that, this way of making others have to come up and deliver it is really comfortable. The scene at that time must be very beautiful. It is no exaggeration to say that according to the estimation of the Patala civilization in the previous battles, even if they still have backup, or even more legions of gods, they can only be crushed in front of Chenmo's terrifying number. With his current strength, when the time comes to directly block and clear the entire broken world, there will be no problem. After all, this war zone is just an area where the opponents fight. How could Chenmo be so disrespectful of martial arts? A single person's combat power is stronger than the entire region in action. What's even more outrageous is that this was not intentionally caused by Chen Mo. He just came, and then devoured Evolution 0.5, so naturally, he became so strong. After appreciating his spirit army, Chen Mo called Xi and Oran and asked them to choose 1,000 people. Chen Mo selected 100 of them and appointed them as the head of the army. In the future, you will be the head of the God-level legion, and our current number may not be enough for so many legions. But I believe it will be soon. Chen Mo said with a smile. As long as the Patila civilization is wiped out, he will have enough resources to build a spaceship similar to the Evolution again to build an energy network, and at the same time use the aura on the equipment to resonate. As long as the number is enough, he can initiate an energy infection targeting an entire galaxy. Powerful. Chen Mo couldn't restrain the joy in his heart, and couldn't help but blurt it out. On the side, many snake girls, Oran and Ash looked at Chen Mo adoringly. Chapter 406 Interfering with Reality. Watch each other. One more. For the general god subordinates, Chen Mo has paid little attention now. Too many. But there are a few technological overlords among them. After arranging 100 legion commanders, Chen Mo took a special look at the technical overlord who had advanced. And let them feel the gaze of the great divine will. One must know that Chen Mo's big project at hand has become more and more difficult to deal with after devouring Evolution. Many of them require the assistance of technological overlords. They may not be effective in combat, but they can play a role in building star-level spaceships and various huge weapons. The cooperation with Audai, the goddess of starlight, just happened to be able to use them. Great divine will. Several technical overlords were so excited that they fell to the ground one after another. Although separated by hundreds of light years, these technical overlords, through the astral world, seem to have a great divine will right in front of them. It is absolutely a supreme honor to be watched by the great divine will. This means, among hundreds of millions of creatures, stand out. Chen Mo asked. When you were researching and building the Evolution, you have made a breakthrough. It is very good. Do you have a feeling of divine help? That is, all the progress has become very smooth. Hear this. Several technical overlords hurriedly discussed the research of the past period of time, and they couldn't help but nodded. A few minutes later, several people replied respectfully. Great divine will, under your guidance, our research is indeed progressing very rapidly, and various problems can always be solved in unexpected ways. However, the process is out of our control. It's amazing. Chen Mo couldn't help but nodded. It seems that as he grows, his consciousness continues to make money, and his ability to interfere with reality has been improved again. Embodied in the, I am thinking, force field of the greenskins, it has become able to ignore more rules, and through various coincidences, research and analysis of previously incomprehensible knowledge. As for whether the greenskins can control this power, it doesn't matter. This is an idealistic force. Just believe it. Now that his star soul power has been able to affect the acquisition of knowledge, then he can definitely start planning and researching Neser's core. And officially started the construction of the dimensional spaceship. But should we directly transform the Evolution, or build one independently? Chen Mo is still thinking about this issue. I don't know what Lady Luck thinks of this. In any case, my consciousness has reached a terrifying level, and the interference with reality is extremely strong. One thought of mine may distort the outcome of a certain matter. And this power, in turn, greatly enhances my ability to swallow Evolution. Chen Mo is in a good mood and more relaxed at the same time. With such power, when fighting against the Devourer of Dimensions, as long as he has a small chance of winning, he might be able to reverse the whole situation. The fear is that there is no hope. At the same time, he plans to use this power to obtain more evolutionary opportunities from the Patila civilization after this wave of battles. Especially about space travel. In terms of space genes, I can go one step further. It's time for the ability of mid-level gods to jump around. As long as this can be restrained, the Legion of the Gods will lose its only advantage in front of me. When the Patila civilization faces me, it will either fight hard to consume it, or run away as soon as it is far away. There is no third choice. Although Chen Mo hasn't seen too many powerful fighting methods in the Patila civilization. But he is very sure that after losing the advantage of tearing the space, the opponent will definitely be at a disadvantage in front of him. Because even now, with this advantage, they only have a slight advantage over the Star Soul world. Just look at the results of the previous two battles. After Chen Mo's evolution continued to advance, the Patila civilization was obviously in a passive state and losing ground. On the aspect of space, I have more evolution. Then relying on the advantages of fangs and claws, it will be continuously magnified, and the real damage can crush most enemies. Master, many star Shendu from other theaters have come to watch the battle. As an ally, Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, requested to send a few observers to enter our legion to observe the battle at close range. Should I promise her? At this time, Oran asked. Oran's first reaction was to expel the other party. But considering the relationship between the other party and the master, she decided to act cautiously. Okay, let her send someone in, as long as the strength is lower than the god level. Chen Mo thought for a while, and agreed to this matter. For him, there are no secrets to hide. In other words, the secrets that really need to be hidden are all in places that are completely unobservable. Just observe his legion, so no matter how long you observe, even if you send you a few cuts to see, you will not notice anything unusual. What is really powerful is not the individuals in the legion. Here, it is a whole. Observing the individual is like a blind man feeling an elephant, meaningless. I just hope she doesn't get more and more confused. Chen Mo couldn't help smiling. Then I will allow them to go in. I will arrange Ms. Ao Dai's people in the middle and rear areas of the theater, and we can also observe their race. I request to send the same number of technical overlords to their legion to watch the battle. Oran always felt that she couldn't give the other party 593 whoring for nothing. Since we want to study, we should observe each other. That's a great idea. Chen Mo couldn't help but nodded in satisfaction. For no reason to infiltrate into a powerful army of star gods, it was indeed a quick move. And Ao Dai will absolutely agree. This can be regarded as another form of sending messengers to each other. Where is the legion of the Patila civilization? Chen Mo asked again. He's looking forward to the fight now. Master, our star gods are all in place, and they are currently fighting with Patila Pioneer. Among them, Patila civilization too tried to get close to the evolution, but they were all repelled, but the star gods suffered a lot of losses. Patila's side currently has about 50 million legions, with an average level of 9. Oran reported the latest information without a single pause. It was obvious that she was paying attention to the battlefield all the time. Obviously, based on the current battle situation, the balance of battle is tilting towards us, but the star gods are under a lot of pressure, and some people have already used the Legion of Gods, but the scale is very small. Requiem can be used 10 times. Quote, I estimate that the Patila civilization will soon lose its composure and use its trump card. As Oran spoke, his voice couldn't help becoming excited. When the Patila civilization made the last fight, it was also the moment for them to make a move and reap the rewards. Chapter 407 Start the War. Retreat. Have you asked me about the million legions? 2 more. Patila War Zone. The battle quickly escalated. The battles between the 4th level civilizations are all instant battles where you die and I die, because at this point, everyone's attack power has become very terrifying, and the reactions of all parties are also quite fast. So once a fight starts, the intensity quickly reaches its peak. A steady stream of forward combat data is being sent to the theater channel. Chen Mo is also constantly receiving data from the evolution number. Patila civilization has gathered more than 30 million legions, more than expected. They are still billions of low-level legions, and they are currently wandering in the outer area. They are constantly testing the scope of our infected area, and they should join the battle when necessary. The total number of Star Gods legions is almost 20 million, but their quality is higher, and they can be covered by our evolution number. Coming. Suddenly, Oran's voice was high. It's the God-level legion of the Patila civilization, and the number of them is 100,000. All are God-level powerhouses. A strong space fluctuation has been detected. They should forcibly tear apart the space attack, and it is estimated that they will arrive near the evolution in a few minutes. Hearing this, Chen Mo laughed out loud. With so many gods, he is going to get rich. A full 100,000. If all of them are killed, the equipment alone will cost a lot of money. Of course, Chen Mo has reason to believe that the other party also used some method to mass-produce gods, which is relatively cheap. Although the combat power is not low, it is certainly not as valuable as the unique kind of gods. But this made Chen Mo even more envious. This is industrialization, the way to create gods. If he can analyze it, there must be huge benefits. Maybe it's not just the space, but also other genes that can evolve. Of course, Chen Mo will not wipe out all Patila's army. Well, we can't let them lose too badly. Because if the loss is too bad, and everyone runs back, wouldn't Shenmo's infectious ability be wasted? Speaking of which, Shenmo's infection in the Patila star area has been effectively contained. Containment means that Shenmo has taken over the entire galaxy. But it stopped here, and it won't be long before the Patila civilization will burn the entire galaxy to ashes. This is not difficult to do for level 4 civilization. The reason they don't is to observe the root of infection. But all of these are futile in Shenmo's view. Because he is evolving and becoming stronger every moment. Again, it is meaningless to observe individual mushrooms, or green skins. Shenmo believes that after this battle is over, with various benefits and federal rewards, he should be able to complete the construction of the evolution and build enough halo arrays at the same time. At that time, it will not be a war zone, fighting with the Patilas. Let them see what it means to be a weapon that surpasses the J-Star. The only thing that can be more powerful than this is the dimensional weapon, right? Or the probability weapon. Shenmo couldn't help but sigh with emotion. With this trump card in hand, foreign wars will be extremely smooth. If I had to use one word to describe it, it would be efficient. More efficient than all Star Soul Masters. This means that he will occupy and control more planets for the Star Soul world. This in disguise increased his influence in the Star Soul world, especially expanding his influence on the world's laws. This point is extremely important. In the next stage, Shenmo will focus on expanding his influence. Obtaining the attention of the world law is the most important thing. If you can't even obtain the authority of the Star Soul world, then as the goddess of luck Femiris said, it is hopeless to fight against the devourer of dimensions. However, unlike the previous wars, this time, Shenmo will not win over the people of the Patila civilization, but will do his best to wipe out the other side. Because there are too many methods of level 4 civilization, many of them who died can even find a way to be resurrected, just like the goddess of luck, they can come back alive across the universe. The old dog is the king. So for the sake of safety, Shenmo wants to keep none of them and exterminate them all, lest they surrender to the devourer of dimensions instead. Their planet will become Shenmo's territory. Thinking of this, Shenmo couldn't help feeling impatient. Glancing at the property panel, the time column has not been moved, which really reassures him. There is still time, so hurry up and expand. Not long after, news continued to come in that the star gods couldn't hold it anymore, and the star gods kept communicating with Shenmo, preparing to retreat. This is part of the original agreement, and when there is a conflict of interest, everyone strictly abides by it. The current situation is that the star gods feel that the strongest army of the Patila civilization has entered the field, and Shenmo should be able to resist the big head, but the problem is that they are under too much pressure and feel that Shenmo can't handle it. Therefore, everyone suggested to slow down the speed of the evolution number first, and consume it slowly with the other party. If the speed is too fast, the two sides will approach each other, and they will not be able to stop the crazy Patila army at all. They want to kill the evolution now. Star Soul, this battle is really the craziest I have ever fought. Haha, cool. It's like tower defense, we just need to defend it. Li Nujiao. Kill, kill, kill. If you're afraid of the hair, FK Patila and make a lot of achievements. Brother Shenmo, hold on, let's fight for the first place together. The entire theater channel is boiling. Everyone felt very excited. After all, it was Shenmo who fought against the big head. If they can keep it, they will keep it, but if they can't, there's nothing they can do about it. Continue to advance at this speed. When Star God feels that he can't defend, it is also the time when Patila launches the strongest attack. It just so happens that I don't accidentally hurt them. Shenmo couldn't help but smile. Following Oron's order from the side, each of the 9th level powerhouses had already arrived outside the evolution by taking the tractor beam from inside. The next moment, Nisar's core began to fully activate Yang. One by one, the elites began to prepare to connect to the energy network channel. Chapter 408 The evolution number singles out the God's Legion. One more. Boom. In the dark universe, a huge crack suddenly appeared. The surrounding space was like glass, instantly shattered. Patila's strongest combat power, Patila Gladiator, a group of gods debut. Each of them has been trained since childhood, mass-produced elites, and is proficient in combat. Especially for tearing space, using various artifacts to fight, very good at it. Coupled with the shields on their bodies, they are almost invincible. But this time, they not only tore open the suppressed space again, but also came over 100,000 gods in one breath. Hiss. Everyone retreat. Boss Chen Mo, I'm sorry, I really can't bear it, I'll go first. I can push it again, but not much, and I'm about to run away. The Legion of Gods is here, everyone gather and meet them head on. No way, they are too close to the evolution, and it is too late for us to assemble now, we have to step back a little to avoid being defeated by each of them. Chen Mo didn't panic at all, even a little excited, but 473 and other star gods panicked. They were crushed by this sudden and powerful army and retreated step by step. Although it is not that no one wants to resist, but along the way, everyone is used to harassing and beating the Patila Legion like rangers around the evolution. Therefore, many stars are fighting independently, and the legions are also scattered. At this moment, Patila's army of gods was like a steel knife, piercing directly into the vitals, and it was impossible for everyone not to panic. Especially if evolution is breached. That is very likely to cause a big rout. After all, everyone can still organize battle lines around them at this moment. It is reliable that most of the legions of the Patila civilization cannot break through. If this fails, they are afraid that they will be dumped immediately. It is also because of this that the star gods all understand that the most sensible choice is to retreat immediately, but Chen Mo's evolution number is temporarily attractive. Taking advantage of this time, they can gather behind the evolution and form a joint army that is strong enough to fight against the Patila Spiritual Legion. Of course, this joint Dade army is not completely able to resist, but at least it will not be defeated, and it can definitely hold on until reinforcements arrive. But if this is the case, Chen Mo's evolution number will have to bear terrible pressure, and I'm afraid it won't be able to withstand it. Someone said worriedly. The Patila civilization is not a kitten or puppy, even if it is the strongest star god, it dare not say that it can completely defeat the opponent. Hee. Spend money to do things, and do their own work well. That's right, we are cooperating with Chen Mo, everyone earns 50%, and they have to bear their own risks. No, we paid 10% tax and only earned 40%. Anyway, everyone, hurry up and gather. If Mr. Chen Mo can't stand it, he will run back. We don't have to worry about this. I have already told Mr. Chen Mo that he is going to withdraw, and I also suggested that he withdraw as soon as possible. It's enough to do your own thing well. All of a sudden, the legions of the star gods were ordered not to carry on deadly, but began to retreat quickly. But the Patila civilization was on a rampage, almost without any hindrance, and collided with Chen Mo's 9th level legion. The next moment, this legion with level 8 reinforcement was immediately smashed by the gods, legion of the Patila civilization. But the other party did not continue to entangle. Instead, they quickly pounced on the evolution. They have had enough of this huge evil eyeball. Blow it up today. Federal announcement. Great changes have taken place in the Patila war zone. There are legions of gods haunting, and the Patila civilization is about to launch a powerful attack. Boss Chen Mo, I'm Asgar, the star god of your left wing cover. I'm going to retreat now. Take care. Boss, hurry up and do it thoroughly. You have also seen the announcement. Boss Chen Mo, I have already given you the money. According to the agreement, I have the right to retreat immediately, but don't worry, we will come to rescue you immediately after we gather our troops. Seeing the constant vibration on the watch and the news coming from him, Chen Mo couldn't help but smile slightly. There were thousands of messages in an instant, all from other star gods. Contrary to Chen Mo's expectations, there is also a federal notice. It seems that the battle situation here has been closely watched. The speed is quite fast. I don't want the Temple of Heaven, and I have to delay preparing for a battle for several days. Chen Mo grinned with a very calm expression. It would be great if every enemy was delivered so crisply. Some 8th level legions were defeated, but Chen Mo didn't feel bad at all. To be honest, Chen Mo has as many legions below the god level as he wants. As long as there are planets to eat, he can make infinitely more. Because what he lost was only some materials after all, and the precious consciousness was stored in the astral world. As they fought, they became more and more experienced, and each of them was an elite who had experienced battles. Of course, I didn't waste these resources in vain, and I gained a lot. The 8th level legion that has accumulated more than 1 billion has consumed a lot of energy of the gods, legion, and at the same time, it has tested the limit of their resistance. Combined with the biological mastermind, I can work out a good strategy to deal with them. If I'm not in a hurry, with the existing legion, I can slowly grind them to death. However, in that case, the consumption of weapons and the equipment of the Divine Spirit Legion will be huge. In the end, it will become worthless, and I will lose money. Some of them were not equipped with equipment, and they were taken away by other star gods. My profit was reduced by 50%. Chen Mo couldn't help thinking with some regret. But fortunately, because the Patila Legion was so powerful that the star gods all retreated. In this way, the subsequent achievements and battlefield gains are all his own. Of course, this kind of thing is what Chen Mo just thought. In fact, the star gods who were gathering behind were already desperate. Because Patila's army was too determined to advance, even if there were some losses in the middle, they rushed forward, as if they would not give up until they smashed the evolution. At this moment, Chen Mo is completely alone, single-handedly fighting against the Patila spirit army. No, it should be the evolution number, single out a whole legion of gods. This odds. Even the most seasoned star god shook his head. Chapter 409 Stealing the Supreme Artifact. Back and forth. 2 more. Boss Chen Mo is going to have a heartache this time. What a heartache. As long as the Supreme Artifact is not lost, the rest is just a small scene for him. Indeed, I heard that Nesser's core is the Supreme Artifact. If this is taken away by the Patila civilization, it will be too late to cry. The entire theater channel is boiling. This battle is really full of twists and turns. It caused everyone's attention to be drawn here. Not only that, countless star gods and star soul powerhouses outside have also been attracted to this theater channel. All of a sudden, the number of simultaneous online users on a channel with only a few 100,000 people suddenly soared to tens of millions. There are even more people who are posting on the internet, discussing this matter. Many posts about the live broadcast of the battle are very popular. Chen Mo has become a traffic hotspot, and more people follow him in the entire Star Soul world. Not to mention, the suspense in this battle is too great. Can Chen Mo resist? Is there any follow-up support for Patila civilization? Star Soul world, is there any reinforcements? Everyone is very concerned. But what everyone is most concerned about is the legendary Supreme Divine Artifact, which is one of the few Supreme Divine Artifacts known to everyone and mastered by the Star God. Counselors naturally have their own powerful weapons, but the Star Gods, especially the newcomers, Chen Mo is the only one with the Supreme Artifact. If it was snatched away, it would be a shame and a great humiliation. Of course, the thoughts of many star gods are different. Especially many veteran star gods. They and Chen Mo are, to some extent, in a competitive relationship. If Chen Mo is defeated this time and loses the artifact, then the powerful evolution that the opponent is proud of is just another fortress, or even worse. They will be much less stressed. At least it is not a tactic, they are forced to come with Chen Mo. Thinking about the money earned, 50% will be given to Chen Mo whoever is going to feel guilty. In short, many people talked a lot, but they still secretly hoped that Chen Mo would be deflated. What a terrifying attack speed. The Patila civilization is about to be able to attack the evolution, right? The gods can already be attacked, but the evolution number is powerful. Indeed, this kind of attack can still withstand it, but no one can withstand being hit by an artifact at close range. It's still the boss A Liang who is so awesome, he actually predicted in advance and ran so fast. Yeah, fortunately, Big Boss A Liang runs fast. The Alliance Legion that is gradually growing now started with him as the core. When the time comes, the heavy responsibility of saving Chen Mo will fall on him. I'm envious, this boss is about to become the last hope. The most beautiful cub in the audience. Don't be careless, there are still many people in the Patila civilization in the broken world. At such a critical moment, there is no reason why they don't recruit people from it. Maybe it was entangled by the ancient ruins inside, or provoked by void monsters. I really hope that the Patila civilization will die. Many people have bubbled up and expressed their opinions. Even many big boss-level star gods also spoke one after another. They are still very curious about Chen Mo, who claims to be the strongest rookie king, who is expected to stand shoulder to shoulder with the star god. Many of them were originally planning to communicate with Chen Mo. But because of this matter, everyone is ready to wait and see. Arrived. The Patila civilization is about to land on the evolution. The distance between the two sides is very close. The decisive battle begins. Following a series of news, for a while, the entire theater channel fell silent. Everyone is checking the frontline battle report. At the same time, the star gods in the theater couldn't sit still. It is thought that the combat power displayed by the Patila civilization has greatly exceeded everyone's expectations. The strength is too strong. Originally they expected Chen Mo to be able to hold out for 10 minutes. But from the current point of view, in less than 3 minutes, it failed. Facing a crisis, Chen Mo will definitely not release water, and his army is not afraid of death. Then the only explanation is that the Patila civilization has put forth its full strength this time. The legions that came up are all masters. Damn it, we fell for it. It's not that the Patila civilization didn't send personnel from the broken world, but they secretly replaced all the strong people inside. It looks like a 100,000 legion of gods, but I dare say that the proportion of natural gods and intermediate gods must be very high. 0 for flowers. The masters in the broken world may have mixed into the legion. All go. It's too cunning. Deliberately the number remains the same, but the number of battles has increased. For a time, everyone could not help but despair. It's over, we may not have time to organize a team. What a mess. The other party is about to log into the evolution. Once the boarding battle starts, the evolution will be completely smashed. Why are we gathering here? Run. If you don't run, it will be too late. Some star gods retreated decisively and immediately. The legion that had been assembled suddenly became chaotic. For a moment, all the star gods also reacted. If you don't run at this time, you will be completely abused later. Because according to the current speculation, Chen Mo is too weak. In other words, they themselves are not so powerful. But the loss, no one wants to bear it by themselves. So just step back quickly. Even if the Federation will deduct the record in the future, it has to do so. After all, the veteran star gods can clearly tell which one has the biggest loss. For a time, the entire network was in an uproar. I didn't expect the defeat to come so quickly. I thought there were still others to fight, but I didn't know that the last hope was to run the fastest. For a while, many people opened their mouths because of the snow. But more people are worried about Chen Mo. Because according to the current distance, the evolution number can't run anyway. Even, judging from the live video, some gods have landed on the planet. Yes, already landed. But the strange thing is that for some reason, none of the gods set off a large-scale explosion. Logically speaking, a god is enough to destroy a warship. Even a planet-class battleship with extremely strong defenses can cause huge damage if it is invaded by the enemy. For a while, everyone couldn't help being surprised. It's an artifact. They want to snatch Chen Mo's Nyceria core. A star god analyzed. This reason is justified. Everyone spoke in agreement. Chapter 410. Lu Xie. Millions of gods and spirits are waiting for you. Is there less blessing? One more. Oh. It's a pity, without Nesser's core, I can't see that beautiful goddess of luck displaying her divine attire. There is a star god who is obsessed with the goddess of luck, Fimilis. That's enough. It's okay to lick Luo Bing before, but now you even lick Shendu. Remember, licking a dog is not a good thing. That is, if you want to lick, you have to lick our own people, such as the extremely powerful Lord Star God, or a certain beautiful woman who is expected to become a member of parliament. That's really big. Not only that, you licked someone that would save at least 3,000 years of struggle. Isn't this better than a 1,000-year-old godmother? Upstairs Lu Xie. The layout is very big, but I am a little timid. I suggest naming names. At this time, the theater channel launched a heated discussion around Nesser's core. Everyone thinks that if he loses this, Chen Mo must be hit hard. At least, 523 is a powerful ally like the goddess of luck, so he can't even try to win him over. Perhaps, the other party will break with Chen Mo because Chen Mo can't keep the baby. For a while, many people's minds were floating, thinking about replacing it. Of course, in Star Soul World, no one wants to compete with Chen Mo. Boss Chen Mo is too strong. Even if we fail, we are still proud of him, and we deserve to be the #1 new star god. I haven't failed yet. What are you talking about? Damn it, I'm too weak to be of much help. Among the Chen Mo support group, there are not a few people who support Chen Mo. Many people even want to play. But it was stopped by Luo Bing, not to mention their stupid fans. Even with her strength, it is not enough to look at. She sometimes wonders, is it really useful for Chen Mo to expend energy to recruit these talents? After all, it is only a genius, but it can be used to a great extent if it is cultivated. At least it needs to be calculated in years. But Chen Mo is such a genius, his vision must be very long-term. She doesn't like to ask too much. There must be a reason for Chen Mo to do so. At the same time, looking at the situation in the group, Lu Shui also heaved a sigh of relief. At the beginning, all female talents were recruited, which was still very good. At least everyone has the same idea now, and they don't have so many small thoughts. They also admire Chen Mo very much, and there are some personal emotions in it, which makes everyone very united, and they can firmly support Chen Mo without being timid when encountering things. Besides, Chen Mo is so powerful, he is simply the strongest among men. Thinking about it this way, wouldn't women be envious? Not to mention women, there are a lot of rare ones who ask for it. Sister Luo Bing, when will Mr. Chen Mo ask all the sisters to visit Holy Terra? Don't worry, wait until the quota for the construction of the portal is available. After it's done, you can drop by at any time. Chen Mo is currently in a battle, and it's a time of rapid development. Don't disturb me at will. Luo Bing said. Her current legion is still fighting on the front lines. But unlike the other star gods, she didn't look backward, but landed on the evolution number. She knew that Chen Mo had backhands. Those who run away, just wait to regret it. Our legion is too poor, but it can support weapons, and it can also do logistics work. That's right, Sister Luo Bing, please communicate with Mr. Chen Mo, we are all willing to help. Everyone unite. For a while, someone's suggestion aroused everyone's enthusiasm again. These are really unnecessary, and the sisters who have been there will know why I said that. I know your intentions, Mr. Chen Mo knows, and he must be very moved, but there is really no need. The current war consumes more than all of you combined. Conscientious development and cooperation with Chen Mo's plan are the greatest help. Luo Bing opened his mouth to comfort everyone. Listen to Sister Luo Bing. I really want to go to Holy Terra to play. Like playing with Chen Mo. Chen Mo, my Chen Mo crawling, screaming, he shong, longing screaming again. For a while, the style of painting in Chen Mo's support team began to become strange. The next battle is entirely up to you. I lay flat. Luo Bing contacted Chen Mo as soon as he turned around. Under normal circumstances, it would be impossible for an arrogant girl like her to say such things. But here with Chen Mo, it is perfectly normal to lie down and lie down. I believe that no one can do better than her. I haven't seen that lady of luck, so beautiful. She appeared on the stage with golden lights, and she sent equipment to Chen Mo after turning around. So Luo Bing feels at ease when it's bad. 0. Of course, Luo Bing was also a little speechless when he realized his own psychology. She decided that she would not fight behind Chen Mo in the future, it would be too hurtful, and if she lay down for a long time, she would be afraid that she would not be able to stand up, so that would be boring. She wants Chen Mo to see her good side. Chen Mo looked at Luo Bing's helpless eyes and couldn't help smiling. This kind of battle is really embarrassing for the opponent. As the core consciousness of the evolution and the master of the planet, Chen Mo was naturally aware of the attack route of the Patila civilization in the first place. I also know that someone landed on the Patila civilization. But what? When they got down, they were dumbfounded. Because here, there are gods standing everywhere, yes, the energy grid, activate. The army of millions of gods appeared in an instant. The next moment, a terrifying energy shock wave swept across the surface of the planet. The turbulent energy stunned Luo Bing. She was so excited that she wanted to lie flat, so she stood up immediately. Chen Mo, can my people also access the network channel? I can still do it. She spoke excitedly. She didn't want to miss such an opportunity. Can, Chen Mo said. The next moment, the turbulent energy on the evolution rushed to the entire eyeball. Scoff. A terrifying light overflowed from the eyeballs. For a time, many Patila gods who were heading towards and wanted to land were instantly reduced to ashes. The surging power of the millions of spirit legions is just so terrifying. Just the gathered aftermath is enough to crush the gods to pieces. My god. The power. Luo Bing opened his mouth wide. To be honest, she really wanted to go and let this power pour into her body. It's outrageous. I saw that the strength of the angels under her command skyrocketed one by one. Of course, there are also some who can't control the energy of the riot, and even have blood spurting out of their bodies. But fortunately, Chen Mo is now more and more proficient in the use of Nisar's core. He doesn't need to worry about it. The biological mastermind automatically controls and disconnects the energy connection. Okay, the warm-up exercise is over. Patila civilization has been running for so long, and it is also drunk. It's time for a treat. Chen Mo couldn't help chuckling. Chapter 411 The Timid Patila Civilization. Dimension Gun. 2 more. Following Chen Mo's laughter, countless elite warriors of the Patila civilization screamed. Even the gods are frightened and stupid at the moment. After all, as long as it is life, no matter how you transform, you will still be afraid of death. Imagine the attack you thought you were sure of winning at first, but the next moment, all you can see are powerful enemies. Original knowledge level 9 extraordinary minions, instant energy response sword, god level. Even, some of them skyrocketed to the level of intermediate gods. Between the opening and closing of the eyes, energy gushes out. Just the gathering of a large number of gods and spirits, the energy tide stirred up makes people unable to stand still. No, impossible. The Legion commander of the Patila civilization screamed. His face was twisted ferociously. Terrible. Thriller. In a blink of an eye, the weak insects in front of him swelled into hideous and terrifying monsters, thanks to his powerful and great divine power. Otherwise, this scene alone would scare him to the ground. Surrender, or perish. Oran spoke lightly. Surrender or perish. Surrender. The next moment, the army of millions of gods also shouted. For a time, a terrifying will permeated the entire 30 planets. On the evolution, many gods of the Patala civilization felt heartbroken facing this scene. Someone knelt down slowly. Of course, it's not just momentum and overwhelming power. Chen Mo's sense of terror also played a role. Looking at this scene on the battlefield through the angel, Lu Shui felt extremely regretful. She knew she would win, but she didn't expect that winning would be so simple and without any suspense. Crush. 100,000 versus a million. How to spell. What's more, Chen Mo wants more legions of the gods, and he can take them out at any time. Even, her side can also provide tens of thousands of combat power. That's right, even she can provide tens of thousands of combat power, that is to say, with the blessing of the energy network, even she can single out 1/10 of Patila's elite. She couldn't believe it a minute ago. It's incredible. At this moment, she truly realized what a supreme artifact is. Why are so many stars? Shendu highly respected this. But at the same time, Luo Bing had more doubts in his heart. You must know that the goddess of luck gave this hand to Chen Mo. Behind this, is there a transaction that I don't know about? She was very curious. What on earth did Chen Mo promise, in exchange for such a terrifying piece of equipment? Simply invincible. She would love to know. I always feel that there is nothing in this universe that can be exchanged for such a weapon, right? Initially, she felt she could compete with Chen Mo. But after going through so much, the road and water pipes are seen through. Rather than how to compete and lose, it is better to find a way to compete with the partners around Chen Mo. It is not necessary for me to be better than Chen Mo, as long as I am better than most of the people around him. In that case, she can also realize her dream. Becoming a Star Soul powerhouse, and eventually ascending to the upper echelon of the Star Soul world. Like most people, she is not exempt, and one day she will be able to obtain the title of a star god, and even become a counselor, and join the entire civilization live forever. The Star Soul is immortal, eternal. At the same time, after joining Chen Mo's side, she also gained a lot of information. Especially pay attention to war, resources, and upper-level trends. Although not much, the sum of these intelligences aroused her vigilance. Even, I feel a little uneasy in my heart. Wars are more frequent than usual. As the normal Star Soul world, this intensity is a bit too abnormal. There are a lot of star god level relationships in her family, and as far as she knows, there is war everywhere. It never stops. Then gather the choice of Lady Luck, and dot the news from Lu Ru. A bold idea came to her mind. Maybe something about to happen is the reason for Lady Luck to do this. Of course, she didn't ask Chen Mo directly about this. The other party will tell her, he will say, no need to ask. Not to mention, it must be her current strength, which should not be known. Knowledge is not about knowing more. The same goes for some information. Of course Chen Mo didn't know that Luo Bing was thinking about him at this time. He smiled and asked, how is it? This scene should be enough for most newbies and Star Soul Lords to join me, right? At least, I can also be an important option. However, I will still only choose geniuses who have great influence, not rookies who are too bad. You help me check. In addition, how is the arrangement of the new batch of geniuses? I will give you 100 portal indicators. Chen Mo's war with each other is to devour evolution and increase popularity. Now it's harvest time, and it's time for the interior to work. Through Luo Bing, he can know the thoughts of everyone in the support team. On Lu Ru's side, he could know the thoughts of the star gods. After this battle, his strength must have greatly increased, and it will be logical to continue to attack the main star area of the Patila civilization at that time. But back then, it was far from such a sensation. The first time, it was impressive. By the way, he also gets a job in Broken World. There may be many ancient ruins here. Chen Mo now has more reasons to suspect that this is part of the fragments of the universe destroyed by the Dimension Devourer. It's a remnant of a war. Because from Lilia's side, more news came. There, Chen Mo also invested a lot of power, and this kind of place is an area where the energy network can't be increased, so a true god must be sent in. In the case of the Broken World, I heard that someone has specially prepared weapons to be used in it, which will not be disturbed by the law. Even if the speed of light is reduced by 500, the power will not be affected. It's a very terrifying dimensional weapon. It is said that it can quickly disintegrate the creation inside. It seems to be called a dimension gun. Luo Bing is also analyzing the situation after the victory. Broken World, that's a good place. Must be occupied. Hearing this, Chen Mo nodded. I've heard of the dimension gun, but the more this weapon is used, the faster the collapse of the entire space will be. It has a sense of self-destruction, and it cannot be used in our universe. Indeed, but at the critical moment, it is a nirvana, which can ensure that no civilization can threaten us in the Broken World, and this is also the trump card for us to dare to continuously attack any Broken World. It's like a Requiem-like signature ability. Chen Mo nodded. Indeed, you can use it, but you can't. After all, other civilizations also have ways to accelerate the destruction of the Broken World. In the final analysis, the battle inside is really a bit like a pond that is about to dry up, where several civilizations compete for the last bit of water. Speaking of this, Chen Mo couldn't help laughing at himself. The current entire universe is probably an enlarged version of a Broken World. Even the situation is so similar. However, he wants to strive to be the first to go ashore. As soon as you land on the shore, you can get out of the water. Chapter 412. The egg hits the stone. Invincible defense. One more. With my current status, this weapon is easy to get. Even if it's impossible to do it, I doubt it can be obtained by accident in the broken universe. Chen Mo didn't particularly care about this. Because it is obvious that the previous battles of the Patila civilization have been victorious, and maybe they have seized the dimension gun, or they have researched similar weapons themselves. Moreover, the number of his gods is very sufficient, and the broken world has a boundary and cannot be teleported. Although the middle and low-level gods are the ceiling of combat power in this, his legion will also be an extremely terrifying existence. What's more, he still has a halo. As long as a halo is transported in and assembled, it is enough to destroy most of the enemies. You must know that no matter which civilization it is, its strength in research is not the strongest. Once Chen Mo's halo is opened and the infection is set off, no one can hide in the broken world. Boom boom boom. Under the shining light, the head of the Patala army launched a final struggle. Not everyone is afraid of death. It's the consciousness manipulation of the slave owner. Don't be fooled. Get up. These false gods are far less terrifying than imagined. As he roared, for a while, battles broke out around the Evolution Palace. Die to me. Dare you let me get here? Do you really think you are invincible? The head of the Legion with great divine power is extremely terrifying. His roar not only awakened some of the soldiers of the Patila Legion, but also directly shattered many wriggling tentacles around them. Breaking free, he advances instead of retreating. Holding the spear-like artifact in his hand, he rushed to the heart of the evolution. In that eyeball, there is a beating organ. Endless energy is gushing out from it. The Legion leader intuitively believed that was the weakness of this eyeball monster. As long as you can break through this layer of flesh and blood, you will definitely defeat the opponent. Destroy me. On the spear-shaped artifact, golden light gushes out, like a laser, blasting on the evolution. The rays of light that emanate from the collision are extremely dazzling. It's like a nuclear bomb expanding on the evolution. The shock wave of that light, even the entire planet. Many soldiers of the Patala Legion around were accidentally injured by the impact and were sent flying. However, wait until the glow wears off. The entire evolution is just a pothole that was driven down hundreds of meters. Is that a deep wound for a planet? Almost negligible. It's like not getting hurt at all. This terrifying defensive power shocked everyone. I saw a blue light continuously flowing in the wound. At first glance, this light looked like a shield clinging to the flesh and blood, but upon closer inspection, it didn't look like it. Because as the wound grows and recovers rapidly, that layer of light is also flowing and changing shape. In the beginning, when the Legion commander raised the charge horn, the star god raised his heart in his throat. Chen Mo is even more upset, ready to speak immediately. As a result, before he could laugh out loud, the next moment, he saw that the wound blasted by the Legion commander had completely healed. Are you sure it's flesh and blood? It can only be said that the strength of flesh and blood has been redefined. This is higher than the defense of an entire training alloy planet. Even, comparable to living gods, no, higher than that. After all, the flesh and blood of gods rely on prying high-level energy to organize defenses, and the inside is equally fragile. But the evolution number is different, it seems to be the same. Whether it is those who like Chen Mo or those who want to hate Chen Mo, they are all dumbfounded at the moment. Looking at the scene in front of them, everyone inevitably thought of a word: the egg hits the stone. Yes, evolution is that stone, and Legion Commander is that yelling, feudal egg. Is this why Big Brother Chen Mo allowed the Spirit Legion to land? I'm in tears, I can't hurt Chen Mo's hair at all. Everyone has run away and achieved the feat of Chen Mo's one-on-one crushing. The reason is heartwarming. If I remember correctly, the artifact in the hands of the Legion Commander can burst out terrifying energy jets, and it is an extremely penetrating weapon. If he can't do it, the rest of Patila's weapons can really only scratch the itch. Evolution is indestructible. Many people are frowning. Divine weapon plus great divine power can't break through the defense of a star-level warship. Or the kind of biological battleship known for its weak defense. It's outrageous. All in all, everyone understands that Chen Mo has made history. And in front of the entire Star Soul world, with the 100,000 Spirit Legion as the background board, it showed what defense is. It's energy. The blue one, flowing between the flesh and blood, is energy. Chen Mo has the knowledge to use energy to completely defend on flesh and blood. Physical attacks must be used to penetrate the defense. A star god frowned, and suddenly figured it out. But the more you understand, the more desperate you become. Do you expect to dig into the center of the earth with a knife? Moreover, Chen Mo's million army is not a decoration. So this can only be said to be a theoretically feasible solution. As for other attacks, there is no solution at all in terms of unlimited energy and flesh growth speed. Even if there are 100 such spear artifacts, it will not help. It's too miserable. This Legion commander is probably going to cry. Hey, don't talk about him. I'm the one who eats melons, and I feel a burst of despair when I see it. I can't even imagine what it would be like to stand opposite Chen Mo at this moment. Don't talk about facing each other. If the empathy doesn't come, I just want to know, what should the many star gods who have already retreated run away do at this time? Haha, what else can I do? Of course, make wise remarks, and then quickly launch a big counterattack. Ha 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 ha, it's too late to go back now, the record is all Chen Mo's. Not necessarily, there are still some members of the Patila Legion in space, and there is still time to go back and pick up trash. In the War Zone channel, all kinds of yin and yang strange voices began to appear. It made many people, especially those veteran star gods, want to die. This is really embarrassing. Some people want to go back and search for a little bit of record. But the problem is, now the entire Star Soul world is broadcasting live. When you go up, you will be in front of people all over the world, dangerous. Garbage, garbage, woo. Who can bear this? Therefore, a strange scene appeared, and all the stars Shendu stopped running to avoid being deducted points by the Federation. But dare not return to attack. Because anyone with a discerning eye can see it, it's not necessary. Everyone huddled together. Now there is only one thought: don't be noticed by reporters or some intersex people. On the other side, the Patila Legion. At this time, he has completely lost the courage to fight. Hit the ground with a weapon and bang it. Like a savage, you also have to face the weird tentacles growing out of it. Do not hit, then you have to kneel and surrender. However, the head of the Legion hadn't surrendered yet, and the pride in his heart made some gods who advanced by their own strength want to try. As a result, a strange situation was formed. Most of the gods knelt down, and a small number stood stupidly. Everyone looked at Legion Long Tongue. The air was full of terror and a strange atmosphere. Chapter 413. Group destroyed. Evolution opportunities appear again. 2 more. Holy Terra. Chen Mo sat in the office. There is a cup of tea on the table, the aroma curls up. Looking at the evolution number that has been fully activated, the energy grids crisscross on the back of the universe. At the same time, he exerted the full power of his star soul. Everything on the battlefield was clearly presented in front of Chen Mo. However, because the distance was so far away, it seemed that this war had nothing to do with him. He drank tea and looked at the information with ease. Even, the command is not needed. His loyal subordinates will take care of everything properly. He only needs to say the desired result and process, and some people will find a way. If someone came to visit Chen Mo at this time, he would be surprised, because Chen Mo acted very relaxed, even as if he was on vacation. The entire sacred terra is also peaceful, with the fragrance of birds and flowers. Looking at this place, absolutely no one would expect that the countless terrifying war minions and creations that can scare ordinary people to death just by seeing them all come from the hands of Chen Mo. There are nearly 10,000 real gods, accounting for as much as 10%. It seems that the Patila civilization has indeed used all its strength. 723 inches. I have to say that this civilization's method of mass-producing gods is really good. Chen Mo had a faint smile on his face. After a little testing of the attack power of the leader of the Patila army, he was completely relieved. There is no worry about the evolution being destroyed. Energy attack, invalid, and such a high proportion of natural gods also shows that they have secretly mobilized all the vital forces in the broken world. Next, Chen Mo pushed all the way across without any trouble at all. It has greatly reduced the possibility of the Patala civilization jumping over the wall in a hurry. It was also a windfall. At this moment, a beautiful figure appeared next to Chen Mo. Oran said softly, "Master, before our legion started fighting, most of the enemies surrendered. The next step is to kill or join evolution." Although her voice was very soft, Chen Mo could hear the suppressed excitement. It can be understood after thinking about it, the other party has always been a legion of gods. Kill it, Chen Mo said calmly. Patila was a civilized man, he didn't want that. In other words, people from level 4 civilization will not be taken in on a large scale. With so many god-level conscious bodies, it is most appropriate to destroy them all, and then use Requiem to clean up the traces of the battlefield. Make sure to clean up all traces of them. Ding! It was detected that the host killed a large number of gods of the Patila race. According to the system deduction, using the leader of the Patila army as the evolution carrier can strengthen the space, or electricity, genes. The probability of both is 99%. Please select the evolution type. Just then, a pleasant voice sounded. Here's your chance. Chen Mo was overjoyed immediately. And beyond his expectations, besides space, there is also power to choose from. I just don't know, if this continues to evolve, what powerful abilities will it have? Unfortunately, you can only choose one. The amount of resources needed has also increased dramatically. Chen Mo calculated that about 50 billion evolutionary resources are needed. But this is not a big problem for him at present. Without any hesitation, Chen Mo immediately manipulated the evolution, and in the next moment, countless tentacles rose from the ground. The Legion leader was still thinking about struggling and roaring. The next moment, he was overwhelmed by endless tentacles. Then it was slowly pulled into Dada inside the evolution number. Soon, a huge bulges. There was a scarlet light dancing inside, as if the Legion leader had been melted, and the surrounding blood vessels that transported nutrients also swelled. Many gods panicked and didn't understand what happened. But before they took a closer look, the entire bulge emitted powerful radiation. When someone looked directly at it, a terrifying evolutionary reaction appeared in the eye sockets. With a hard push, the eyeballs turned into blue crystals and fell out. After the success of this evolution, my space ability has reached the level of a 4th level civilization, and if I go up, I will touch the extreme level of dimensions and the limit of evolution. I feel that it is definitely a major qualitative change. Just like the original infection. Through energy, my ability has skyrocketed exponentially. And this time, it may be of great help to me in analyzing the dimensional weapons. There are also dimensional spaceships. There are so many benefits. Perhaps in this field, one can also rank among the top experts in the Star Soul world. But only masters. If you're unlucky, maybe not. Because of this field, the Star Soul world is quite powerful. Chen Mo has grown to the current strength, and has been able to roughly evaluate the role of his knowledge in the Star Soul world. Some aspects are top-notch, but others, just mediocre. There is too much knowledge, and there is a specialization in the art industry. It's almost over. Chen Mo couldn't help standing up. On the evolution, the battle has almost come to an end. In other words, the battlefield is already being cleaned up. At this moment, the federal announcement also came. Announcement. The 13th District of the Patila Theater experienced brutal battles and wiped out the Patila army. Chen Mo played a decisive role in this battle and won the first place. Note. Click to view the detailed ranking. A little after the federal accounting, the final score will be released and the reward will be settled. Congratulations to you, Star God Chen Mo. Your amazing performance in the Patila War Zone has attracted the attention of the Federation. For a while, the entire theater channel was quiet. Is that the end? But everyone felt that the aftermath was still reverberating violently. They all thought about it carefully. Chapter 414 All Out, billions of legions. One more. Keep going. Chen Mo didn't stop the evolution. Even in the heat of battle. Now that the main force of the enemy is completely wiped out, Chen Mo's countless legions can be seen directly from the evolution. I saw the portal opened, and the evolution was shining with light. Numerous legionnaires swarmed out of it. They come from Holy Terra, Bastion, Planet 11, etc. As long as necessary, through the portal, Chen Mo can easily gather all the legions. Countless, tens of billions, hundreds of billions, and the number keeps growing. The legion commanders didn't expect that they would have a chance to fight so soon. Shouting slogans one after another, ignoring the ferocious attack of the Patila outpost. They straddled the universe and gathered into dark tentacles at an extremely fast speed. In the end, like a cluster of huge creatures in the universe, they strangled the outpost of the Patila civilization together. Although there are still some soldiers who are afraid of radiation infection in the outpost of Patila civilization, there are a lot of soldiers, there are more than 1 billion. Even at the entrance to the broken world, some god-level fighters came out. One blow can kill millions of minions. But it doesn't make sense. After losing the large-scale and legion of gods, the Patila civilization is no longer qualified to fight against Chen Mo. At least in this war zone, this outpost can only be crushed by Chen Mo. Chen Mo's army is not afraid of death, and its efficiency is extremely high. Looking at it as a whole, it looks like a living thing. An incomparably huge quantity can be observed even on a cosmic scale. Gathered together, the area far exceeds that of a star-level fortress. Even, the striker has arrived at the fortress, and the follow-up troops are still pouring out from the permanent portal. And each of them is instilled with battlefield memory, and has genetic restraint on Patila civilization. Simply a nemesis. In short, Chen Mo intends to march directly in one breath, destroy the outposts of the Patila civilization, and then talk about the Patila civilization. Evolution has shut down the infection field. I know, it can be teleported at this time. Unfortunately, this is not an opportunity for Patila civilization, but a complete failure. A horrific amount. Countless star gods stared at this scene, their eyes widened. They didn't expect that Chen Mo not only hit a beautiful blow to lure the enemy deep, but also started to defend and counterattack immediately. Didn't you realize that since Chen Mo appeared in this war zone, the forward speed of the evolution has not changed, even during the most intense battle just now? Chen Mo's goal, from the very beginning, is to go straight to the outpost of Patila civilization. As soon as these words came out, everyone was shocked. Doesn't this mean that the twists and turns in the middle, the cooperation and battles of the countless star gods in the middle, are all added by oneself? From the very beginning, Chen Mo had already determined the tactics. And it has been executed. The star gods were helping, but Chen Mo didn't care, and even divided some of their achievements. The star gods were defeated and retreated in a panic, but Chen Mo still didn't care, and continued to move forward, fighting steadily. Not troubled by foreign objects, the decision-making is extremely clear. With such strong self-confidence and execution ability, all the star gods couldn't help feeling admiration in their hearts. I heard some newcomers say that in the system of Holy Terra, death is not the end, but just a very ordinary restart. Now that I see this scene, I believe it. Look at this. Fill it with millions of millions, this cannon fodder can't help being consumed like this. They definitely didn't die, but how did the growth of flesh and blood, as well as the equipment of weapons, be so fast? Growth, consciousness transmission, this is definitely the most powerful knowledge and secret of Holy Terra. Boss Chen Mo is too awesome, I don't know how much of such top-level knowledge he has mastered. It doesn't matter how much it is, it's much more than us. Imagine the infinitely resurrected legion. It's even more terrifying than evil gods. The more they fight, the more they fight. No civilization can hold back the consumption like this. I don't know about Chen Mo's legion, is it for sale? Want to build a mercenary legion. Kill. Strangled. Even if we die, let the other party know that our Patila civilization is not easy to mess with. Among civilizations, there is only the collision of blood and fire. The strong survive, and the weak become nourishment. At the Patila outpost, countless soldiers are still fighting. But their perspective is too narrow. It can only observe 1 or 2 light years around, and even can only see the endless minions in front of it. Therefore, they don't know that what they are facing is nothing wrong at all. But purely, consume, and only they consume. For Chen Mo, those who are killed at this moment cannot catch up with the speed of replenishment. 0, 0. Everyone lined up to go to the battlefield, and when it was their turn, they all had to look forward to the death in front of them. Occasionally, Patila's god-level fighters realized that something was wrong, and they could only become more desperate. They are deeply trapped in the battlefield. No matter which direction they are endless fangs and claws. On the battlefield, there are no funny sayings from generals to generals. The gods are trying their best to kill Chen Mo's army and cause losses, in order to make Chen Mo retreat temporarily. But this trick is invalid in Chen Mo. Senseless consumption. Looking at the soldiers with Patila civilization, they began to blow themselves up. A level 9 legionnaire frowned slightly. This self-explosion, like a nuclear bomb, released a lot of supplies. These could have been collected directly and used as nourishment. It's meaningless, it just increases the time we spend cleaning the battlefield. Join the glorious evolution. No, our Patila civilization is the brightest and most powerful in the entire universe. You will not succeed. My consciousness, even if it is uploaded mechanically, will not. Some god-level soldiers were overwhelmed by countless minions before they finished speaking. They're using dragon claws. This can directly penetrate the gods. An attack comparable to a divine weapon, thousands or tens of thousands of attacks in an instant, smashed this howling god soldier into a sieve on the spot, but the flesh and blood in it immediately squirmed and turned into tentacles. Soon, a powerful mutant stood up. There is a sense of legion occupying it. Chen Mo's soldiers +1. Seeing this terrifying scene, many soldiers of the Patila civilization turned pale with fright. What a horrible creature this is. It feels completely different from the hostile slave owners before. According to the guidance of the great divine will. Join the glorious evolution. I saw that extremely evil body, but spoke such sacred words. The aberrant rushed into the fortress of the Patila civilization, and in an instant, blood was splashed. At the same time, the magic nets and various magic devices of the entire Patila civilization also began to be invaded. Among them, the spirits began to be strangled. The war is going on fiercely in the 2 dimensions of virtual and real. Chapter 415 High-Profile Display, the Star God is shocked. 2 more. Starting today, declare the countdown to the extinction of the Patila civilization. All legions, move forward. Oron's indifferent voice echoed in the consciousness network. Everyone heard the voice. Cold, but inspiring enough. Because this means that a brand new wave of evolution is about to come to shit. The more people join the honorable speech, the more powerful the Holy Terra will be. And for the greenskins, this means that they have a brand new opportunity to make their debut, and they may be the next god's choice. Kill. I will crush all enemies. Holy will protect me. The legionnaires were all excited, one by one crazily rushed forward, each one wanted to prove himself through the battle. Wonderful performance, not only to get attention. It is more likely to attract the eyes of the sacred will of 957. In this way, the Patila soldiers were run over by the torrent, and one by one died and revived. The entire area is full of battles, from the huge battleships deep into the interior, and on the planets of the outposts, there are shouts of evolution everywhere. Logically speaking, this kind of war will be quite chaotic, because up to now, it is completely me and you and you and me. There are many powerful weapons, but there is no way to deploy them. Not to mention the interior of the planet, both sides are competing for lanes one by one. However, it is different from what everyone thinks. The overall scheduling of Chen Mo's army is too perverted, the order seems to be branded in the bones, and it is more unified than the self-discipline machine. Wherever they passed, everything was cleaned up. Enemies, trophies, and materials were all sorted into categories, like a general cleaning, and they were cleaned up inch by inch. Even after the Legion passed by, the bloodstains on the battleship walls and windows were all cleaned up. Efficient and terribly mechanical. In this battle, Chen Mo was extremely high profile. Not only at the beginning, the tone was very high. Subsequent battles are also big scenes. Grand Army. In short, it is to highlight an overwhelming, one word, amazing momentum. It can be said that the way of fighting is very terrifying, efficient, and cruel. Of course, this is synonymous with perfection in the Star Soul world. Because of this, the entire Star Soul world was shocked. Some star gods were dumbfounded. What's more, the tea in Xingshan's hand fell into his crotch, and there was no response. Yes, all this displayed by Chen Mo's army is so amazing. Damn it, is this the true strength of Chen Mo? This legion is a ruthless war machine. I suspect that there is a supercomputer scheduling behind it, otherwise it would not be possible to be so smooth. Supercomputers don't work either. You can't collect all the information. You need to be smarter on the soldiers fighting in front. Leaving aside the level, this should be the most perfect legion, right? Not afraid of death, unlimited resurrection, infection, devouring matter. Evil gods have to be afraid even if they encounter them. Void monsters must be afraid. The evil god is just one of them. On the theater channel, the discussion about Chen Mo has been transferred from tactics to legion. Everyone wants to know, what else can this legion not do? It is simply the perfect killing army. If only I had such a legion, I would crush other civilizations and fight for planets for the Star Soul world. Just thinking about it made many people tremble with excitement. The sense of substitution is too strong. Under the same level, any other legion, including ours, can only be ruthlessly crushed by Chen Mo. Only those above the level of gods can barely compete with Chen Mo. Energy attacks are basically ineffective against him. A body of flesh and blood is a delivery. Everyone said something to each other, and suddenly, everyone found that Chen Mo has almost no shortcomings. Too strong. It is also based on this common understanding. Everyone was shocked. Phew. That's fine, the Patila civilization has been perfectly restrained by Chen Mo, and we can let the boss Chen Mo lead us to destroy the opponent. Thinking about it now, being the enemy of Holy Terra, it's really sad, so pitiful. Yes, there is no room for resistance at all. Chen Mo should be the strongest star Jin Xingshan, right? Many star gods are feeling emotional. However, at this time they gave up the idea of competing with Chen Mo, and they didn't worry about Chen Mo robbing resources. After all, if Chen Mo is willing to lead, everyone can eat the entire civilization. How much can still earn a little? 0. The Star Soul world gives the greatest respect to the strongman who can open up the situation. Of course, generous rewards are also essential. Thinking about the rewards that the Federation might give, everyone is envious. This time, Chen Mo will definitely make a lot of money. Not only did he make a lot of money, but his so-called sacred system, which has not been very popular in the Star God Circle, is afraid that it will become a big hit. Many people have realized this in advance. Some people say they won't join, but they are very honest, and they have already seized the time and sent the application plus resume. Don't be too optimistic. The Patila civilization has been fighting us for hundreds of years. You don't think that's the only thing you can do you? Chen Mo is indeed one of the strongest guys I have ever seen, but there is a limit to personal strength. I just hope he can integrate the sacred system as soon as possible. I have a lot of experience in this method. I wonder if he still lacks cadres. The planetary governor is also fine. Tisk tisk. The chicken feet upstairs are leaking. No matter what, Chen Mo's Legion Vanguard has already marched towards the Patala civilization. As a powerful star god, his next step should be to choose to actively open up the battlefield. We can choose to join, or we can watch. Must join. I think it's good to pick up trash. Haha, Captain Patila Wenming, this is a hornet's nest, exciting. I'm looking forward to Chen Mo's next performance 5.0. I think in the future, Chen Mo will definitely continue to win, but in the middle, some failures are inevitable. After all, the Patila civilization also has star-level warships, which seem to be neutron stars. With violent rays, it is very scary. Quote, there are star gods who swear by it. Conventional weapons are terrible. Don't take out materialistic garbage. I'm afraid that the other party will be shameless and use some means outside the rules. Hee, with such a big battle, those little hot chickens in the void probably won't be able to sit still. The more star gods, the more they believe in Chen Mo. Because time and time again, Chen Mo has given them too much confidence. Even the star gods began to trust Chen Mo for no reason. This kind of belief is not a terrible force. A manifestation of influence on the Star Soul world. Chapter 416 Shaking the World, It's Hot. One more. Many celebrities in Chengdu are discussing whether to follow up with Chen Mo. But what's interesting is that many Star Shendu still don't know what happened when Chen Mo launched another battle against the Patella civilization. If they knew, that galaxy had already been smashed due to the tragic battle. Don't know how they will feel. I am afraid that most people will retreat. Because that is the scene where Chen Mo is playing his best and the Pala civilization is unscrupulous. Everything is burning. There was a notice of opening up the battlefield for that battle. But because the battle here is fierce, it has attracted attention, and everyone thought that Chen Mo's main force is here, so no one has joined that war zone yet. Of course, even if he wanted to join, Chen Mo would not recommend it. Because if you go there, you will burn glass balls. Very scary. The Patila civilization nearly destroyed the entire galaxy. There is no room for the spores to survive. However, doing so is futile after all. Chen Mo instead used this to hide more deep in the genes of Patila warriors. Too frightening. This force is not something our legion can contend with. We need more power. In the darkness of the universe, on a strange triangular-shaped battleship, there is a senior commander of Patila, with a dignified face. He realized that a potentially dangerous enemy was rapidly rising. The opponent's countermeasures and resistance to Patila's various weapons are improving every moment. It's like a cancer in the universe that spreads and spreads. And every time the drug is used, the other party will develop drug resistance. Very scary. Just thinking about it made him shudder. God knows how the Star Soul world bred such a monster. They unleashed a terrifying monster capable of changing the pattern of the universe. I just hope that I can control it. As Chen Mo's opponent, he only feels a lot of pressure. On the one hand, there are overwhelming protests within civilization, calling for total war. On one side is the endless fearless servant of the terrible slave master who is not afraid of death. He couldn't help but sigh. Too difficult. It's also because it's difficult, and it's even more necessary to break through the old tradition. As long as there is interest, everything is not a problem. Involuntarily, the commander's expression became grim. He has made up his mind. With the benefit of Chen Mo on the Warzone channel, all kinds of war videos are spreading everywhere. At the same time, Ao Dai, the goddess of starlight, also directly announced a comprehensive cooperation agreement with Chen Mo. For this reason, she also specially held a press conference. We agreed to build momentum for Chen Mo, and now that Chen Mo has made the scene so big, as a collaborator, she must not be shabby, right? In fact, Ao Dai is already feeling a little embarrassed now. Because Chen Mo is so hot. I feel that if she comes again, she will not be able to set off her great reputation. Contrary to what she imagined at the beginning, as the main player, she has a great future to promote Chen Mo's reputation. Instead, she became the little flower that icing on the cake. So naturally not reconciled, we must make things bigger. Ever since, there are more people who follow Chen Mo. Oh my god, another goddess joins Chen Mo's camp. Again, it's obviously a bang. What is the charm of Mr. Chen Mo that makes so many powerful goddesses bow down? Whether it is the distortion of human nature or the loss of morality, please stay tuned tonight at 3:30 p.m. Today's decryption, everyone is welcome to pay attention to my program. I have exclusive news, which you have never heard of. Upstairs Han, isn't your so-called secret just a rumor on the internet? I have the time to pay attention to you. Why don't you directly join Chen Mo Dadiao's sacred system? That's it. Join the holy city. What the hell is the holy light once, and once you get into the upper class? Have you seen it? Chen Mo's battleship is really cool. This evolution is simply a model of the evil god. I would like to call it the aesthetic of the evil god. The part of the gods on it is so beautiful. Those mermaids, angels, and snake girls, have you seen them? I'm drooling anyway. Drooling is useless, their strength is stronger than your most powerful unit. Whether strong or not is temporary, beauty is the key. I have already saved a lot of money. When the time comes, I will join Chen Mo's system and plan to buy a reincarnation pool for fun. Sleepwalking. I really thought that if I bought the reincarnation pool, there would be such a beautiful and powerful unit. I recommend getting the evolution. Tentacles are where everything belongs. I regret that I didn't join Chen Mo's system at the beginning. It's a bit late now. Even the star goddess has cooperated with Chen Mo. Brother Chen Mo also showed his face in the news promotion video of Goddess of Starlight. Have you seen it? He looks really handsome. Damn it. How do you know such details? Look at the boss Chen Mo and the Goddess of Starlight standing together. The momentum is not lost at all. As the press conference of Goddess of Starlight proceeded, under her spare no efforts in publicity, everyone was finally attracted by her revelation. Exclusive war perspective. There are scenes on evolution. There is also a picture of signing an agreement with Chenmo on the sacred Terra. For a while, watching the content in the video, everyone talked about it. Boss Chenmo should have reached the star god level, even, it is an intermediate level. Otherwise, I don't think it would be possible to push so hard as the Goddess of Starlight. Impossible. How long has it been? Only the star god is strong. You can't even blow up a balloon so fast. Many people are discussing the strength of the Goddess of Starlight, as well as Chenmo himself. Many people are speculating about Chenmo's strength. Generally speaking, one's own strength is related to the race cultivated. But Chenmo has obviously deviated from this usual situation. His race is really powerful and boundless, so everyone subconsciously thinks that he should be in a special situation. Holy Terra, inside the manor. Chenmo is also checking the internet, seeing his own videos circulating everywhere, eating his own melons. He is obviously a little bored. After seeing the effect, he turned it off. Then he turned to the front. At this time, his legion has begun to pour into the broken world. More, around the evolution, began to set off to the interior of the Patila civilization-controlled area. Along the way, countless indigenous civilizations, as well as cosmic creatures, have started their escape mode one after another. Because Chenmo's army doesn't care who you are, they all join the evolution. We are too weak. Apart from joining, we can only flee. If you don't want to become a star thief, you can only choose to join. Hateful, our strongest combat power, even if we fight off the entire race, can only cause damage to the opponent's most basic minions. The king of the indigenous planet burst into tears. Run away. The Patila civilization is not a good thing, and the slave owners are even more terrifying. At least the former pays attention to environmental protection. A life in the universe spoke. The other cosmic beings around also nodded. Oh. Sometimes I really envy the civilization model of the Star Soul world. Human life seems to be free of money. Each of them cultivates their own race. There are sentinels of the Patila civilization, watching the giant fortress from a distance. For the first time, I worried about the unsecret of civilization. Chapter 417. Terrorist Slave Master. Start all-out war. 2 more. Terrible Slave Master. This one seems to be called Holy Terra. We shouldn't be enemies with him at all. Alas. This sudden war is itself a mistake. We should make peace and unite with the Star Soul world. Patila's civilized side is very anxious at this time. Especially the high-level command in charge of this area. Looking at the terrible record with no survivors, the commander's face turned pale. He felt that what awaited him could only be a permanent deep sleep, or be exiled into the void. Someone must be responsible for this sudden failure. They originally thought that the slave owners were only relying on that strange battleship, but even if they found out that there was a suspected super artifact in that battleship, everyone was not too panicked. After all, they are in the broken world, and there are many masters. And they have all been secretly prepared. At that time, it will be a 50-50 winning rate at most. Unexpectedly, when the growth started, they realized that they were wrong. Whether it is quantity, quality, or even the backhand, they all belong to the party that is hammered. It was crushed until there was no scum left. On one planet, millions of gods appeared in an instant. This is a complete legion of gods. Placed anywhere in the universe, it is also a huge force. The sudden appearance of such a powerful force made Patila's senior management shudder. What's even more frightening is that these evil minions are obviously not at the level of gods. But at that moment, it was forcibly promoted. This is some kind of instantly strengthened knowledge, which is simply terrifying. Unheard of. We were hooked from the start. Since the appearance of that weird eyeball, the opponent has only one purpose, and that is to kill us all. It's ridiculous that we thought we could resist with our existing strength. The other party made us careless step by step, and even paid a lot of the strength of other slave owners. It was the first time I saw such cooperation among the slave owners that they were willing to sacrifice themselves. There must be a high-level leader who is coordinating the entire battle. The last step is nothing more than sending it up by ourselves. Before then, we would have had a chance. The commander gritted his teeth and said. Upon hearing these words, the expressions of all Patila's senior executives were even uglier. Gather your strength. We need to regroup a stronger army of millions of gods. Issuing a national mobilization order. A commander made a decisive decision and applied to the highest center of Patila. The other senior executives also nodded. Soon, the entire Patila civilization began to tense up. An entire fourth-level civilization was fully mobilized, and the terrifying power directly caused all the surrounding civilizations to jump. Even the Star Soul world was shocked. Immediately, a large number of star gods began to mobilize. Of course, the Patala civilization did this because they thought that Chen Mo's fighting style was too restraining for them, and if they dragged on, there would be a catastrophe of genocide. It's better to take advantage of the present and go all out. Chen Mo didn't know that his appearance suddenly stirred up the situation, and the intensity of the war between the entire fourth-level civilization was about to rise to a new level. On the other side, in the fringe area of the entire Patila star area. Or, let's all surrender. Although the universe is big, I feel that the recent situation is very scary. It feels like there's war everywhere. A life in the universe suddenly spoke. The cosmic beings near the war zone are all united. Their individual strength is strong, and they don't worry about anything at ordinary times. They are all emperors, but at this time, when they are really crushed by powerful forces, they are not much better than ordinary civilizations. My lord, the Patila civilization has announced that it will fight with us and give us some weapons. Suddenly, there was a powerful cosmic life that exuded joyful consciousness. Do you believe them? However, there are strong cosmic beings who sneered. If they are really powerful, why should they turn to us for help? Don't they usually drive us around, thinking that this planet belongs to them? That's right. What's wrong with us eating some planets? They meddle in their own business. They chased me for several years last time. For a while, there were constant complaints. The cosmic life that was still happy just now was immediately speechless. Think about it too. Patila civilization has no sincerity. In the final analysis, it is because of their strong melee strength and their already huge size. Many cosmic beings discussed for a long time, and finally agreed that the Patila civilization was too insincere. In this case, it is better to run away directly. Give him another day or two. Anyway, the slave owners are not fast, we can still afford to wait for this time. Ask clearly, if they don't immediately organize a strong counterattack, then we don't want this star area, Patila civilization and slave owners, whoever they love. Also, give us enough to burium or we can attack the slave owner's planet. Anyway, if we eat that planet, we will eat it. The problem is that we can't make a leader. For the many beings in the universe, you have a word, and I have a word. Wangs offered conditions one after another. Why do they dare to make such unscrupulous conditions? Because the current attacking slave master is too strong. The opponent's overwhelming legion, just looking at it from a distance, is already scary. Caught in it, not to mention that they have the size of a planet, even if they are bigger, they will be eaten up. Not to mention that huge eyeball that looks like a living body, but is not a living body. The energy bursting out of it makes many cosmic beings drool. But I also know how terrible this thing is. There must be countless tiburium ore on it. This is the favorite high-energy mineral roar of life in the universe. However, they dare not attack. But with the cooperation of the Patila civilization, they still have the guts to build some other planets, and they are very big. Chapter 418 The Concept of Energy Network Channel, Inventor Chen Mo. One more. Time passed by every minute and every second. Chen Mo's striker is approaching a piece of land of the Patila civilization again. But this time, there was no resistance. All the people on that planet have already evacuated. At the same time, the swarms of minions drowned out the brilliance of the stars, and kept entering the dilapidated world that the Patila civilization valued very much. This is also the source of the conflict between them and the Star Soul world. The many cosmic beings who saw this scene did not hesitate at all. Withdraw. Everyone ran cleanly. Seeing the leading few strongest cosmic beings, they all started to turn around, preparing for the space warp. Soon other life forms in the universe followed suit. There is no point in continuing to stay here. Whenever the Patila civilization hardens, it will not be too late for them to come again. But looking at it now, the Patila civilization has also been beaten and forced, and there is no sign of fighting back immediately. While everyone sneered, they felt cool in their hearts. Because this means that the slave owner will continue to move forward, and they have to run around, thinking about the lost territory. Many cosmic beings and level 3 civilizations are heartbroken. 447. It's amazing. The entire star area has started to flee. Is this the power of Boss Chen Mo? Before the Legion arrives, the rest of the civilization will flee. Haha, this time I finally realized what is called clicking the cards of civilization. The star soul is eternal. Consciousness is immortal. On the War Zone channel, the star gods didn't think the other civilizations were pitiful, and they all supported Chen Mo, thinking that he was really too powerful. At the same time, seeing this scene, many stars Shendu wanted to join Chen Mo even more. Raise this big banner, what a powerful group. With Chen Mo on the side, except for the Patila civilization, the rest dare not come here to make trouble, take the planet, engage in construction, and steal the throne of planetary consciousness. It is easy to catch. Sigh, Chen Mo, this slow evolution number, needless to say, is fishing again. Haha, so what? The Patila civilization can either come over and touch it, or get out of here. I didn't expect Chen Mo's strength to be so terrifying. At the beginning, Chen Mo said that when he asked for 50% of the income, he also had the idea of earning an extra sum, but the shameful thing is that no big boss came out to remind him. Yeah, some top bosses, or high-level federations, don't they know about Chen Mo's strength? Hateful. They actually cut leaks together. This also shows from the side that Chen Mo's strength is extremely terrifying, and no news has even been released from above. It is obvious that the news of Chen Mo's boss is particularly confidential. This evolution is really scary. With Nesser's core, it's like a perpetual motion machine. It's really scary. What is it? Is eternal motion. By the way, have you noticed that in a small part of the battle videos, there seem to be traces of angels' activities, and looking at the marks of those angels, they are people from high-level heavens. A careful star god also noticed the angel flashing by in the video. After careful analysis, he thought it was Luo Bing's person. Belongs to high heaven. Hiss. That is to say, the energy network channel of the evolution has already been applied to allies. Amazing. Is it universal for any race? I saw the god of wisdom and the goddess of luck using it in the temple of heaven, but it was far from being so simple and easy to use. It seems that Chen Mo has already mastered this supreme artifact. This is definitely one of the most powerful boosting artifacts, and it's supernatural when used well. For a while, many people felt hot in their hearts, and couldn't help but think how powerful it would be if they could also use the power of the energy network Dao. Absolutely no worse than Luo Bing. Many star gods came to this conclusion very easily. It's very simple, because Luo Bing is just a star soul master, and they have already experienced many battles and are already star gods. The strength of the star god far exceeds that of the lord of the planet. Under the effect of the energy network channel, the opponent was able to contend against the Patila civilization, fought back and forth, and even had a record. That in itself is incredible. Energy network Dao, I must experience it. A star god made a decision. If I can access it, I will definitely achieve a record far exceeding the current record. There is even a star god, muttering to himself. Chen Mo didn't expect it, because he promised to let this unexpected, little guy, Luo Bing join the battle. It was an astonishing contrast. Not only Luo Bing himself was dumbfounded, but the star god who observed this scene was even more dumbfounded. Is this the benefit of hanging out with Chen Mo? The 7th level becomes the 8th level, and the 8th level becomes the 9th level. Together, everyone can play a team of gods. This allure is really amazing. For a time, the concept of energy network Dao was rapidly spread. And everyone agrees that this is a vocabulary invented by Chen Mo. Even, some people began to call Chen Mo the master of the webway. But this term is true. Chen Mo has a sense of déjà vu as the master of the sewer. So he has absolutely no idea to adopt. Damn it, I'm turning into a clown now. A Liang, the veteran star god who organized the retreat of the star gods and was preparing for a major counterattack, looked at the chat records of the theater channel and almost vomited blood. What are these people saying? They dumped the responsibility on him. Isn't he just running faster? At first they all praised him for running well and being smart, but now that he is fine, he is a clown on the spot. Quite a few people even made up jokes about taking the Aliang spaceship, and even Patila's civilization leap couldn't keep up. His nostrils were smoking with anger. Compared with Chen Mo's fame, he has plummeted. I didn't expect Mr. Chen Mo to be so strong. But it doesn't matter. Anyway, I gave all the money I should give, and I didn't offend him. I also agreed to give 50% of the income back then. A Liang said to himself. Now everyone knows that Chen Mo's rise is already unstoppable. Even the one who has the most hope of becoming a member of parliament has given the other party a platform. At this moment, Chen Mo's influence is rapidly expanding. The evolution number, the energy network channel, and the teleportation network channel are all concepts spread by the other party. The concept is very magical, not to mention, but the other party really has the foundation to do it. Liang is very confident. But when he met a monster like Chen Mo, he felt completely incomparable. How about joining the other side? As soon as this thought came up, he actually felt a lot more spacious in his heart. Chapter 419 The Shocking Goddess of Starlight. Access to Authority. 2 more. Evolution number. A huge energy network is faintly emerging in the universe. A certain application of rules. It's unbelievable that a network of energies can build a span of 1 light year on the back of the universe. And with the help of this webway, Chen Mo also strengthened his radiation and infection power. By the way, there should be another kind of ancient materialistic knowledge in it. After analyzing this, the avatar of the goddess of starlight felt a little speechless. Chen Mo is too mysterious. Even if it is her, there are many places where there is no way to start, and a lot of knowledge is based on materialism or some kind of grotesque flesh and blood knowledge. Anyway, she's not used to it. Some of these knowledge seem to be familiar, like the knowledge collected in the Star Soul world has been magically modified, and some of them are completely unheard of, or even unheard of, types that were unimaginable before. For example, this huge monster based on biological growth, and the top-level creation Nesser core for the combination of energy and space. If Chen Mo keeps going like this, I'm afraid that his influence will soon be as big as mine. While promoting Chen Mo, on the one hand, the goddess of starlight seems to be a bit upright. Hesitated. I always feel that I seem to have paid too much, but I haven't got the knowledge yet. We have to wait a little longer, because another Nesser core is still looking for. Of course, she also sent people to work together, so I know that Chen Mo is definitely not fooling her. This is a real thing. And she is sure that within a month, she should get the knowledge she wants. At that time, it will not be a problem to rebuild a Nesser core. But, at that time, she felt a little uncertain whether the Nesser core could still play its due role. Logically speaking, 1 or 2 months, or even 1 or 2 years, she doesn't think is too long. Sometimes a research, a battle, time has passed. But if you put this time on Chen Mo, you will be horrified to find that in 1 month, the opponent's strength is enough to expand billions of times. Yes, even bigger than the sun exploding. It seems that after all, I thought it was too simple. Ao Dai, goddess of starlight, said with a headache. However, the agreement has already been signed, and she has done almost half of what she should do. Chen Mo's rise looks unstoppable. However, she is confident that Chen Mo and her are just a competitive relationship after all, but the cooperation is far greater than that of Jingyu. Anyway, she just needs to win the rest of the counselors. Thinking of this, the goddess of starlight couldn't help feeling a little relieved, and at the same time, she sent a message to Chen Mo. I hope to speed up the research progress as much as possible, and if possible, I can afford an extra research fee. Holy Terra! Luo Bing looked at Chen Mo with a complicated expression. At this moment, her angels are killing all directions, earning a large number of battles, and even, because angels are originally half-energy creatures, after being directly infused to the god level, it is even more terrifying, and the wings on the back directly become light wings. The fluttering wings of light are so cool in the dark universe. With the steel armor, the bloody battlefield. Sigh, the warlike blood in her body is boiling. Would love to play in person. But she knew it was impossible. The actual battlefield is far more dangerous than what she looks like. Even a Mist Padilla civilized soldier could have killed her. Yes, level 4 civilization is just that scary. But when their opponent was replaced by Chen Mo, they were beaten completely helpless. Is this the true strength of the evolution? Within a light year range, teleportation is prohibited, energy infection is ubiquitous, and unlimited energy shields and legions of gods. In one breath, Luo Bing couldn't finish talking about the advantages of the evolution number. And this is just the part of the evolution number displayed in front of her. The knowledge behind it, the terrifying wisdom, those places that she can't see, are probably even more terrifying. She saw with her own eyes that the elite fighters including Patila died of exhaustion of energy by the endless minions. She thought this kind of scene would only happen in low-end rounds. But unexpectedly, Chen Mo changed a trick to make the gods feel the terrifying power of quantity. This is beyond her imagination. It wasn't until now that Luo Bing understood what Chen Mo's target was in this battle. It wasn't this small bridgehead at all, but the entire Patila civilization. Chen Mo on the side couldn't help but smiled and nodded hungry, the latest evolution opportunity. He grasped it very well in the battle just now. 0 for flowers. I don't know how far the space gene will reach this time. At least it won't let the so-called Legion of Gods in the Patila civilization be able to jump around, right? Look forward to. It was precisely because of this that he answered Luo Bing in a good mood. The evolution's ability has not reached its limit. With my analysis of Nisar's core and the subsequent cooperation with the goddess of starlight, the evolution is expected to serve as an energy node to build a true power that spans galaxies and even star regions. Quote. Luo Bing was shocked. Is the current energy network still not big enough? To cross the star area, it must touch the limit of authority and understand the essence of space. Can it be done? Could it be that Chen Mo has reached this point? Isn't he going to become a member? As soon as this idea came out, Luo Bing was immediately envious. Luo Bing looked at Chen Mo and said, I didn't expect your strength to grow so fast, and we are completely in two worlds. If I hadn't joined your camp, I might not even be qualified to talk to you now. Did you acquire this knowledge by yourself through research? Delicate face, full of sincerity. This is Luo Bing's truest thought at the moment. She also wants to set up a research institution, but it is definitely not as high-end as Chen Mo, and she can also cooperate with the goddess of starlight. The world of Star Soul is very fair, but because of this, it appears very ruthless and very real. Chen Mo said with a smile, I will be stronger in the future, but you can also improve along with it. As for knowledge, it seems that I got it the day before yesterday, and some of it was given by others. Sent by someone. Luo Bing looked at Chen Mo and was speechless. If you want to come to this other person, you must be the goddess of luck. But not necessarily. Just like today, will there be less knowledge, sent by Patila civilization? Chen Mo's harvest this time will definitely be amazing. In addition, the Federation will come to send resources and knowledge. By the way, there is also the goddess of starlight. Alas. Just hope this one wasn't given away. What Luo Bing didn't know, at this moment, if the goddess of starlight knew her thoughts, she would definitely cry out with a wow. Because she sent more taxis than Luo Bing thought. Chapter 420 Webway Promotion Plan. Touch the souls of the consortium bosses. One more. Luo Bing looked at Chen Mo, speechless for a long time. She really wanted to ask, what do you want? Why are there so many key knowledges given away? And it was delivered in such a timely manner. If you deliver it today, you will need it tomorrow. If this is said, it is estimated that the war zone channel will be boiling again, and everyone must think that Chen Mo is pretending again. But Luo Bing knew that what Chen Mo said was definitely not pretending, but the fact. Although it sounds outrageous, but if it happened to Chen Mo, Luo Bing found that he seemed to be able to accept it. Before I knew it, I felt that it was acceptable. No discomfort. Is this getting used to? Forehead. Luo Bing held his forehead and was speechless to himself. By the way, Chen Mo, is it because of this energy network that you cooperated with the goddess of starlight? In Luo Bing's 330 view, this is the only one that can allow strong people close to the level of parliamentarians to come forward to discuss cooperation. Well, helping me promote my sacred system is also part of the condition. At that time, you should also cooperate a lot. The goddess of starlight will study with me about the knowledge of the energy network Tao, but not now, but after finding another Nisar core. Chen Mo nodded and said, another one. Luo Bing's eyes widened. Tongues are tensely knotted. It's so exciting. Is this the feeling of knowing a big boss? I actually know such a secret. Won't be murdered. You know, that is the whereabouts of a supreme artifact. Just knowing its existence, there are many powerful star gods, and its location can be deduced. This will undoubtedly cause Chen Mo a lot of trouble. Even, it is not out of the question that some congressmen want to buy it. For a moment, she felt a little touched. Chen Mo actually casually told her about it. Obviously, it was very trusting of her. Thinking of this, she couldn't help feeling warm in her heart. Yes, the other one. This is a magical creation from another universe. In this universe, it may not be possible to create it again. Even with the help of the goddess of luck and the goddess of starlight, I may have to spend a lot of resources. In short, the difficulty is very high. To be honest, I don't have any expectations in the short term. Chen Mo told the truth. But that's all there is to say. If there is more, then Luo Bing will be completely left here. May I ask, short term, how long does it mean? Luo Bing asked curiously. After all, she always feels that Chen Mo's time is different from everyone else's, so his unspecified time may be very different from her imagination. Short term, of course, refers to 1 to 3 days. Chen Mo glanced at Luo Bing, and said it as a matter of course. Can it be called short term for several weeks or several months? Okay, it can only be said that the boss is awesome, but I am the best. Luo Bing couldn't help being speechless. For a while, I couldn't think of any adjectives. After thinking for a while, Luo Bing said again, Chen Mo, the resources you are currently consuming are no longer proportional to mine. Even if I stay in your energy network channel, the free energy I get is very considerable. Resources. I can forcibly increase the combat power of my arms, and the geniuses among them can even advance. Luo Bing didn't hide it either, although this little thing, to Chen Mo, was completely overflowing energy, and it was something with zero cost. But she took advantage of it, so she still has to say it. If she can always have such strength, she can do a lot of things, and she can free up resources to develop the planet, instead of being tired of thinking about where to plunder every day, measuring and developing the pros and cons of the planet. You can have both. Chen Mo couldn't help but said with a smile. You deserve it, not to mention that you are in charge of the support group, you are just checking in for me and recruiting so many Star Soul Masters. You want to promote the Energy Network DAO, but you don't even know how to use it. Luo Bing nodded gratefully. Thinking about it, there are some things that she really should know more about. Otherwise, there is no way to be competent for the current job. Communication with Chen Mo must be strengthened. Anyway, she is also Chen Mo's person now, so she doesn't care that much. As long as Chen Mo continues to be strong, she feels that her strength will only become stronger and stronger. With the help of the sacred system built by Chen Mo, she can better display her talent. If the Star Soul world is a stage, all people in the Star Soul world will have a chance to fight. Then Chen Mo's stage is another vibrant stage, but only some people are lucky enough to shine on this stage. She must take her chances. Suddenly, Luo Bing thought of another question. If there are 2 Neser cores, and you have a research breakthrough in this area, doesn't it mean that the energy network will be popularized? It's like the portal popularized by members of parliament, Requiem. With that said, Luo Bing himself became excited. 0. This is definitely a big deal. However, this seems to have involved power, the competition for the seat of the Star Soul World Counselor. Thinking of this, she couldn't help being startled. If it's something I can't know, don't say it. Luo Bing felt a little guilty. I always feel that the current topic of conversation is too high-end, which is very fast. It's more dangerous than it felt just now. After all, if this is the case, then Goddess Starlight must feel very uncomfortable in her heart. There's nothing wrong with that. In addition to the planetary upgrade knowledge, this will be the main benefit of joining the sacred system. Of course, the energy will be converted into energy blocks. How much is each energy block used? It is not sold externally, but if it is internally, it will be 30% off. Chen Mo said. Hiss. 30% off. This is a broken bone. For the rest of the energy block manufacturing planets, it is simply a blast. Luo Bing couldn't help but look solemn. No wonder you have to cooperate with the goddess of starlight. It is more difficult to touch the interests than to touch the soul. If Chen Mo does this, he will really offend many financial groups. If it weren't for the Star Soul world, Chen Mo would probably have no 3.9 dregs left. But this also reflects the peculiarity of the laws of the Star Soul world. Newcomers always want to stand out against a fair environment, as long as you are strong enough. Those consortiums could only stare blankly. If it can be promoted, then this is definitely a dimensionality reduction blow. At that time, many people will join you just because of this reason, and your influence will be expanded terrifyingly, even surpassing Starlight Goddess, become the first person under the counselor. That's natural. Chen Mo nodded. But to achieve this goal, it is inseparable from the help of some geniuses in the Star Soul world. After all, this involves internal affairs, his own race is not suitable to come forward, and it is impossible to fight and kill. The well-known Luo Bing, Lu Ru, Mu Yao and others are very suitable for this. Give him advice, promote knowledge, and constantly win over the Star Soul Lord. And constantly win over the Star Soul Lord. And constantly